Hello and welcome into the broadcast booth on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Another Red Shirt Friday here at Spillane Field in honor of veterans and servicemen and women everywhere as we bring you this matchup between the Harwich Mariners and the Wareham Gatemen. First news of tonight, Jack, finally we have some clarity on how the standings are going to work this year. We've been talking about it all season. So far we've been operating under the assumption that total points will be determine who the top two teams in each division are. Those, of course, the two teams that make the playoffs. Today we have some clarity that finally it won't be point total, it'll be points per game. So the number of points scored, 2 for a win and 1 for a tie, will be divided by the number of games played, and that will determine the seeding in the standings as we know it. That, of course, is to take out the advantage that teams that play more games due to rainouts have because there are no makeups this season. So, Jack, where does that leave us right now?
Yeah, so right now we have the same amount of points as Katuitt, tied for 22 points. Technically, in total points, we are tied for second. But because we have played one more game than Katuitt, we are a tad behind them in the standings. And we've played 2 more games than Falmouth, but the 2 points that we have ahead of Falmouth puts us slightly ahead of them in the points per game. Basically, what this all shakes down to is it's extremely confusing. We're going to try and keep you guys up to date on the points per game throughout every game, but when it narrows down to the last week of the season, we'll have that every single day. For this week, we'll probably just reference total points for most of the week, but when it gets down to the last week, we'll have those exact numbers for you, and we have them right now. If we could slide in our little graphic right here.
That's pretty much the arithmetic that I've done by hand to take us to where we are right now in terms of the standings. It is about as clear to us as it looks to you guys right here, which is very confusing. Right now, we're basically operating in hundredths of points right now. So it's Bourne with 1.64 points per game. That, with their best record in the Cape Cod League, is far and away the best.
And they're going to finish in first.
They will. Katuitt behind them at 0.88 points per game. Wareham comes in at 0.85 points per game, and then Falmouth at 0.883 points per game. So we knew the division was close. It was tight, but not this close.
Yeah, and the total points is still a great way to look at the standings because it's almost exact. But if you need a tiebreaker or you have an example where a team's played 2 or 3 more games than another team, it's important to look at those points per games in the standings. And we know it's confusing. We'll try our best to keep everybody up to date with how that's going throughout the season.
All right, so we turn our attention to the game on the field right now. Harwich visiting the Gatemen, who take the field first here at Spillane Field. For Harwich, a very impressive lineup that comes in at second place in the East in terms of their standings. Jack, who do you like?
Well, I like a lot of guys for Harwich. They've got a great lineup up and down, but the lineup starts with 4 straight All-Stars. Kavanaugh stands out because he's got a great average. He can also hit for power as well. He just had a 7-game hit streak snapped. Then Brock Wilkin is the obvious one in the 3 spot. Wilkin will play third base today. He is top 5 in doubles, RBIs, and average, and tied for 6th in home runs, Nick.
They take on the man that the Gatemen send to the mound, Jack Noble, for his second start of the season.
So Noble, who we haven't seen a ton of innings from, has been great so far, only giving up 1 earned run through 6 and a third. It seems like he's struggling because he's given up 4 runs, but only 1 of those was earned off of 2 hits and 4 walks. He has 9 strikeouts, doing a great job so far. He has a fastball that tops out at 93, a curveball, a slider, and a change. A true starter's arsenal from Noble.
So it'll be Press Kavanaugh to lead it off for Harwich, followed by the catcher Tatum Levins, and then the aforementioned Brock Wilkin. Those are the 3 you'll see in this first inning, with Noble on the mound working from the first base side of the rubber out of the windup, and the first pitch is a fastball in for strike 1.
Kavanaugh, I just mentioned, had that 7-game hit streak snapped, but hitting .328 on the season. Big shift on for him. 3 Gatemen infielders to the right side.
Breaking ball misses low. Picked out of the dirt by Jimmy Crooks behind the plate tonight for the Gatemen. Around the infield for the men in red, it's Cameron James at third, Jim Jarvis at short, Tommy Troy in his usual spot at second, and Yohandy Morales at first. Both middle infielders playing Kavanaugh to the pull side as he swings through an off-speed pitch from Noble, falls down 1-2. Around the outfield for the Gatemen, Diodati in left, Cade Fergus in center, and Tres Gonzalez, the hottest bat in the Gatemen order, starting in right field this evening. Noble out of the windup again, delivers the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jack Noble sits down the first batter by way of the strikeout, and there's 1 out in the top of this first inning.
Jack Noble knows how to strike guys out. We knew that coming into this game, in a great combination. Mixing his pitch as well, and getting that first strikeout. Nice job by Noble.
So here's Tatum Levens, second consecutive left-handed hitter in this Harwich order, as Noble misses with a breaking ball outside.
Now, Levens is an all-star, Nick, but not necessarily for his bat. He's a great defensive catcher, but he's been struggling at the plate recently. Just 1 for his last 20 over a 5-game span.
0 for 4 in each of his last 3 games, as he takes a breaking ball over the heart of the plate, evens the count at 1. Comes into this one hitting .254, starting as the backstop tonight for the Harwich Mariners. Lights are slowly turning on here at Spillane Field, as we got this one underway just a few moments ago. Fastball misses up. Count goes to 2-1, 1 out, nobody aboard for the Mariners. They bat here in the top of this first inning.
This is the second time we've seen Noble since he was hit by that baseball on the nose.
2-1 fouled straight back. Crooks gets a new ball from the home plate umpire. Noble out of Long Beach State University. One of 3 guys we've seen with the Gatemen so far. Member of that dirtbag squad in California, as the 2-2 misses up and inside, and it hit him. Caught Tatum Levens on the jersey. He takes his base, and a 2-strike hit by pitch puts a man aboard for the Mariners.
That's a tough break for Noble because he pitched him inside, and I think it barely grazed his jersey. I mean, it must have just caught a tiny piece of it. But it puts a base runner on for the power hitter, Brock Wilkin.
Wilkin, an all-star as well. Comes into this one hitting .319. He stands in the right-hand batter's box with 1 out. Noble misses outside, and that goes to the backstop. Crooks will chase it down, and Tatum Levens will advance on the wild pitch.
Well, Noble's been no stranger to base runners in his 3 appearances so far this season. So hopefully that doesn't rattle him too much. It's a Harwich team that's been playing good baseball recently, Nick. 6-2-2 in their last 10. Much better after that 2-7 start. So you don't necessarily want them to jump out ahead of you in the first inning.
Tommy Troy at second base will work with the runner, who is in scoring position now with 1 out. Play Wilkin up the middle, who's 1 for his last 8, Brock Wilkin is. Waits for the 1-0 from Noble, and a fastball misses outside.
It's a good pitch. Wilkin just has great plate discipline. Everyone thinks of him as a power hitter because he broke that school freshman record with 17 home runs, but he's disciplined at the plate too. And he's shown it this summer with .319 average.
Noble kicks and fires the 2-0. That's outside as well. Have to imagine Wilkin will be taking here in the first inning, but not a guarantee for sure. Either way, Noble has to battle back into this count. The 3-0 pitch, that's outside as well. A 4-pitch walk to the 3-hitter Brock Wilkin.
It's hard to get Harwich to chase. They are the most disciplined hitting team in the league. .346 on-base percentage. That's first in the league. And that tells you that if you throw stuff out of the zone, they're probably not going to swing at it. They're going to put good swings on the baseball.
See mostly fastballs and sliders from Noble to this point. Carter puts the cleanup hitter and first baseman now in the right-hand batter's box. Another slider misses away. This one's blocked up by Jimmy Crooks. Runners stay put. The count goes 1-0 with 1 out in the top of the first inning. Scoreless here from Spillane. Just got this one started. Noble running into a bit of trouble in the first inning. As Carter puts the batter, waits for the 1-0 pitch. That's driven out toward right field. Tres Gonzalez chasing it over toward the line, and it is a fair ball down in the corner. Gonzalez fires it to Troy, who cuts it off, and it will be a long single for Carter Putz. The runners stayed put. They didn't know if it would drop fair. They didn't know if Gonzalez would make the catch. But when it was all said and done, everybody advanced one base, and it loads the bases now for the 5-hitter Josh Hood.
Well, that was a well-hit ball from Putz. Excuse me, Nick. And everybody was waiting to see whether that was going to drop down. Gonzalez doing his best to get all the way over and try and make a play on it. But that just barely dropped into fair territory. I think it actually hit the line. And so fortunate for the Gatemen that no runs come in, Nick, but now the base is loaded with only one out.
Ball dropped right on the chalk in front of the Gatemen bullpen. Gonzalez was playing well off the line, unable to chase it down, but a good job getting to the baseball quickly, firing it in, and keeping the runners to one base apiece. So Josh Hood now at the dish. A double play here would end the inning, and Sneddon is out of the dugout to talk with the home plate umpire about what I don't exactly know.
Well, he might be arguing that that ball was foul. I actually really didn't have the best view on it. That's why I said I thought it might have hit the line, but it was very close. I don't see them changing this call, though.
I can't imagine. I don't know if any of the two field umps had a better view than the home plate umpire did. Of course, the Gatemen bullpen signaling that it was foul, but they're pretty much going to say that either way. And the call stays as it is.
Yeah, that Gatemen bullpen spilling out over in the right field corner. The bullpen is right behind the pole in right field, but to get a view of the game,
you can't see with the signs
right.
On the right field wall.
They all spill over into foul territory, and they were all screaming that it was foul.
So the Mariners with a legitimate scoring chance early in this ball game. Josh Hood is the batter. Took strike one.
Well, Noble doesn't have a choice now. He has to throw strikes. Good start on the fastball.
Bases loaded with one out, one strike on the batter, Josh Hood. The pitch gets by Jimmy Crooks, and that will advance the runners and score a run. The second wild pitch of the inning. Levens is in to score, and it gives the Mariners a quick 1-0 lead in the top of the first.
It's just been a tough inning for Noble. He's pulling that slider. He just needs to settle down.
We've seen him struggle to get a feel for that pitch, especially early in outings. And it's come back to bite him a couple times here. A run's come home, two more in scoring position. And Josh Hood with a 1-1 count takes a fastball up high, and that goes to the backstop. Crooks on that one quickly as it took a good favorable hop right back to him behind the catcher's box, and the runners will remain at second and third, and now George Carlejo out of the dugout to try and talk to the right-hander out of Long Beach State.
Well, something's going on with Noble because he was pulling a lot of his pitches earlier, but that one completely lost. It must have been out of his fingers a little too early, high and well inside. And Carlejo knows that Noble's probably just in his own head at this point.
Luckily, we're only in the first inning. In the 10th last night between the Yankees and the Red Sox, 4 wild pitches in extra innings scored the game-tying, and then game-winning run for the Red Sox. 4 wild pitches by one pitcher in an inning, the most since R.A. Dickey did that in 2008.
It's hard to do.
not if you're a knuckleballer. A lot of times the knuckleballers get the short end of the stick when it comes to the wild pitch statistic, but it is not an easy thing to do. It takes some it forces some blame onto both the pitcher and the catcher in those situations. But the Red Sox, the hometown favorite, of course, here in the Cape Cod League, came out on the right end of that one last night after going into the bottom of the 9th down 2 runs. Ultimately tied it and then won it in extras. As the 2-1 is off the fifth to the left side of the infield, Cameron James can't make a play, and now it gets by both infielders. Into shallow left it goes. The runner now taking off for second with nobody covering the bag. and a disastrous play for the Gatemen brings home another run.
That was an absolute nightmare happening because Cameron James and Jarvis both charged the baseball in the infield grass. James had the first play on it, tried to glove it, and it just went right underneath his glove. And then it was past Jarvis at that point as well, rolling into shallow left field. Suddenly Jarvis picks it up, and Hood realizes there's nobody covering second base, so he has second base easily. It's 2-0 Harwich.
So Noble now facing Dylan Phillips, misses way up and out with a fastball. 2-0 game here in the top of the first. The Mariners, who have been hot as of late, have jumped on the Gatemen early. The 1-0 to Phillips. Same pitch, same location. And he's quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The runners at second and third now.
So that was ruled a single for Hood.
The 2-0 pitch, changeup swung on and missed. First one like that we've seen from Noble, and it was a good one.
Well, what he tries to do early is use the fastball and slider and save that changeup and curveball for later in outings, but he's realizing here in the first he just has to use whatever he can throw for strikes. And the changeup was a good pitch.
2 balls and a strike on Phillips, and that one misses upstairs. Runners at second and third for the Mariners. They hold on to a 2-0 lead in the top of this first inning. 1 out and a 3-1 count on Dylan Phillips, playing in just his 6th game with the Mariners. That pitch misses as well, and another walk issued by Jack Noble. So the base was open, first base was open. And once again, it loads the bases.
It loads the bases for a power hitter, Jordan Beck. We haven't seen a lot from him this summer, only 1 home run. But that home run happened to be just 2 days ago against YD. Went 2 for 3 in that game with a solo shot.
His best game of the summer so far.
And he hit 15 home runs this past season for Tennessee.
Big swing and a miss at a high fastball. Noble quickly ahead to the right-hander out of Tennessee.
Surprised to see him swing at the first pitch, Nick. I thought he would take with the way Noble has struggled to find the zone.
He did offer at a fastball out of the zone. Now Noble with a 1-0 count. Gets another fastball by him. Count goes to 0-2. Carlejo, the pitching coach, on the top step of the Gatemen dugout, talking into a walkie-talkie, trying to get a fire drill warm-up going out there in the Gatemen pen. Noble ahead of Beck, 0-2. And the pitch misses up and out.
He just hasn't had the slider so far today, Nick.
Tres Gonzalez well off the line in right field. Rest of the outfield straight away. Bases loaded. Once again, a double play would end the inning. But for now, Noble needs to focus on getting an out. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. Froze him with the breaking ball, and that's the second out of the inning.
Nice job from Noble. Gets back to swinging his first 2 fastballs, then a breaking ball to finish off the at-bat. For as tough as this inning has been for Noble, it would be a win if he could get out of it here with only 2 runs coming across.
Harwich almost threw the order once as they send the 8-hitter to the plate, Zach Preisner. Makes a first pitch fastball, caught the outside corner. Two outs, bases loaded for Harwich. Preisner comes into this one hitting .203. Fastball misses up, count evens at 1.
Well, Noble has now thrown 30 pitches in the inning, Nick.
Not the start you want, especially for the starting pitcher. The 1-1. High and tight. 2 balls and a strike on Preisner. Preisner out of Carlsbad, California. Makes the trip to South Bend to play his college baseball at the University of Notre Dame as he awaits the 2-1. Another fastball misses high, and that's been the miss so far for Jack Noble. Trying to find the release point for a couple of his pitches, missing glove side with the slider early and now high with the fastball as he tries to avoid walking in a run. 3-1 on the batter, 2 outs, bases loaded. Noble delivers. Popped foul on the third base side. That's moving out of play and into the bleachers.
Well, Preisner did Noble a favor. Swung at a fastball that was well inside. Made it a full count. Can Noble take that gift and get a big out here?
5 RBI for Preisner on the season. Looking for another one here. Noble needs an out. And here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3, got him. Jack Noble stays tough and fights his way out of the inning. The Gatemen playing from behind, down 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stands and at every practice along the way, Founders Sport Group makes authentic, quality apparel accessible at the speed of the sport. Visit foundersport.com today.
Baseball Factory is a company specializing in player development and college placement of
Bottom of the first inning coming your way from Spillane Field. The Gatemen down 2-0 in this one. Jack Noble had a little bit of trouble in the top of the first, but now the Gatemen will come to bat. Sending to the plate the 2 hottest hitters in their lineup to start it off, Tres Gonzalez and Tommy Troy, respectively. Behind them, it's Owen Diodati, moved into the 3 spot in recent weeks. Yohani Morales, his first night in the cleanup spot. Behind him, Jimmy Crooks, the catcher. Batting 6th, Cameron James at third base. 7th, Kellum Clark, the designated hitter. And the final 2 batters in the Gatemen order, Cade Fergus in center and Jim Jarvis at shortstop as they face off against the left-hander Spencer Geesting.
We'll start with Spencer Geesting. Left-hander, fastball slider is going to be what he goes to almost exclusively. He does have a changeup and a curveball, Nick. But a great pitcher versus left-handed hitters, and there are 5 lefties in the lineup today for Wareham.
So Tres Gonzalez will lead it off. Geesting out of UNC Charlotte. And a lefty-lefty matchup to start this game. Fastball taken high and inside. Tres Gonzalez ahead 1-0.
Geesting's been very hit or miss this summer.
Roped by Tres Gonzalez down the first base line and foul.
A 5.68 ERA, Nick, in 4 appearances, thrown 12 and 2/3 innings, given up 9 hits and 12 walks. He has 12 strikeouts, but it seems that he either gives up a lot of runs in his outings or is nearly perfect.
The 1-1 taken in off the plate by Gonzalez. Out of the windup, the pitch is driven out towards center field. Jordan Beck chasing it back to the wall, and it's down in front of the wall. Tres Gonzalez will take the turn around first and move into second, standing up with a leadoff two-bagger. And with the Gatemen down a couple in the bottom of the first, that's exactly the way they wanted to start it off.
Tres Gonzalez with his 4th double of the season smoked it to center field, Nick, and he just continues to impress. Coming into this game, 3 multi-hit games in his last 4 with 6 RBIs over that 4-game stretch. And after giving up 2 runs in the top of the first, huge to start off the bottom half of the inning with a double from your leadoff man.
Gonzalez into this one hitting .295, but this was really the first time we've seen him drill a ball over somebody's head. As Tommy Troy takes a fastball up and away. He's been on a tear recently, Gonzalez has. And now Tommy Troy into this one hitting .310. Just as hot, if not hotter, in the 2-hole tonight for the Gatemen. The 1-0 driven out towards center field. Going back on it is Beck. He chases it down in front of the wall. Gonzalez will tag, and he has third base easily.
I'll tell you what, Nick, I thought that ball had a chance off the bat of Tommy Troy. Hit it to a deep part of the ballpark towards left center, but I thought it had a chance to get out. Able to at least productively move Gonzalez over to third.
Either way, encouraging signs for the Gatemen, who have sent 2 batters to the plate, 2 barrels off of Spencer Giesting, and now Diodati waves and misses through a breaking ball. Gonzalez stands at third, the Gatemen down 2-0. Here's the 0-1 to Diodati, another breaking ball, and that's been the MO in the recent weeks, especially against left-handed pitchers. Starting him breaking ball, and Diodati quickly behind in the count 0-2.
Well, he's upset at himself for that second swing and miss. He knows with the runner on third and 1 out, especially after you just gave up 2 runs in the top half of the inning, you have to bring this run in.
Giesting goes right back to it. Diodati fouls it off. And now he's locked in with 2 strikes.
Well, typically your 2-strike approach is just make contact or try and shoot the ball the other way, but Diodati needs to at least pull the ball over to the right side to bring Gonzalez in.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It was 4 straight breaking balls, all of them strikes, out of the hand of Spencer Giesting. And Diodati is down, the runner at third for the time being, and Yohandy Morales coming to the plate. Pitch misses in the dirt. Gonzalez thought about it, but a good block by Tatum Levins behind the plate.
Morales has been a quiet bat so far this summer. A little surprised to see him in the cleanoff spot, although he has been hitting better recently.
1-0 misses high to Morales. And a good place now for the Gatemen first baseman, ahead in the count 2-0. The pitch is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a strike. Giesting's been filling the zone with sliders in the early going. Now Morales sends a high fly ball to the right side, and this shouldn't be an easy play. Kavanaugh in right field throws the glove up and collects it for out number 3. The Gatemen threaten but come up empty as we go to the top of the second on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory is a company specializing in player development and college placement of high school baseball players. We care about guiding players to a college that is the perfect fit. Give us a call at 877-752-6025 to get started today.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950s-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Baseball Factory's vision is to guide both players and parents through the college recruiting process into professionally trained players in order to find a school that is the right fit, both academically and athletically. Contact us at 877-752-6025.
Come on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located on Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the delicious eats or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. BB's is one of our team meal partners.
With professional coaches that provide personalized world-class baseball training, Baseball Factory helps every player take his game to the next level. Get a pro evaluation by calling 877-752-6025.
Matt McDermott, then the top of the order, coming up for the Harwich Mariners, who lead this one 2-0. Jack Noble back on the mound after running into trouble in the top of the first. They sent 8 hitters to the plate, and here we are with 9-1-2.
Well, Noble did run into trouble in the first, Nick, but he struck out 2 batters in a row to leave the bases loaded.
Swing and a miss through a fastball. Strike 1 on Matt McDermott.
Noble did have to throw 34 pitches in the first inning.
Hard to imagine him going much deeper than this inning, assuming he can get through it cleanly as the foul ball goes to the backstop.
I think you could get him for 3 innings if he gets through this inning 1, 2, 3, or only faces 4 batters.
He is a starter by trade. 10 starts this year with a 2.79 ERA at Long Beach State. McDermott, meanwhile, just 2 games played for the Mariners so far. He's 1 for 7 as he protects the plate with 2 strikes and fouls a pitch off to the first base side.
Yeah, he's somebody that's been on their roster the entire summer, but just showed up recently, heading to Coastal Carolina in the fall. But he's been a 4-year starter for William and Mary.
Noble tries again with the 0-2 and misses high with a breaking ball.
That's a good pitch. Just didn't get enough break on it.
Tommy Troy slightly up the middle at second base. Tres Gonzalez once again well off the right field line as a high fastball gets him. Jack Noble gets his 4th strikeout of the ballgame.
Tell you what, Noble has strikeout stuff. And he started to figure it out at the end of the first inning. Back-to-back strikeouts to close out the inning. Now starts the second off with the strikeout. See if he could stay with it.
Leadoff man Press Kavanaugh stands in. Struck out in his first trip. Press Kavanaugh got the strikeout to start off the ball game and then hit Tatum Levens, the 2-hitter. That's where the trouble began. Kavanaugh waves through a changeup, evens the count at 1. Infield overloaded to the right side. Once again on Kavanaugh, the left-handed hitter. The 1-1 hit foul and out of play. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Noble. That one poked to the third base side and out of play as well. Cameron James at third base gave it the courtesy trot, but quickly realized he didn't have a play and will try again with a 1-2 pitch. Kavanaugh into this game, hitting .328, 1 home run, 8 RBI on the season, as the 1-2 from Noble misses upstairs.
Kavanaugh had a decent season at UNC Greensboro, but honestly playing much better on the Cape.
2-2 fouled off third base side once again.
Noble looks much more comfortable in the second, Nick. He has a good sense of the zone this inning. His breaking ball is better. His fastball is locating more of where he wants it. It's a good sign for him, but Kavanaugh making him work. And that pitch count keeps climbing, now at 45 pitches.
Noble from the windup, and it's fouled off the mask of Jimmy Crooks. Home plate umpire respectfully will step out in front of the plate, clean it off, and give Crooks a minute, who appears to be just fine. Press Kavanaugh continues to battle with 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out in the inning. Noble's 2-2, driven in the air to right field. Chasing it back is Tommy Troy. Chasing it in is Tres Gonzalez, and it fouls in foul territory.
That one looked like it was fair off the bat for Kavanaugh. And it was a mad race to get to the spot on the right field line. Troy and Gonzalez both giving chase, but ends up drifting foul.
Tres Gonzalez continues to play off the line in right field, and 1 ball's fallen in fair already. That was in the first inning, and then a play right there that maybe could have been made had he been in his normal position. As there's strike 3. Noble battled, Kavanaugh battled, and the right-hander out of Long Beach State ultimately won it.
Now 4 straight strikeouts for Noble dating back to the first. And a chance to go 1-2-3 against Levens. This is the part of the order that hurt him in the first inning, though. He hit Levens, and then it was a walk, 2 straight base hits, and another walk.
5 straight base runners last inning, starting with Levens. As the first pitch is blocked by Jimmy Crooks, it was a breaking ball in the dirt.
And the pitch that hit Levens, barely grazed the jersey. It just caught.
It was a fastball, and a fastball with 2 strikes, no less, that started the trouble. But Noble trying to work through this second inning cleanly. Misses with a back foot slider.
This has been a Gatemen staff that's been reliable all season, Nick, coming in with a 3.23 ERA, second best in the league. The only real breakdown we saw from the pitching staff to blow a very late lead was 2 nights ago against Hyannis.
2-0 inside as well.
But typically, this is a pitching staff that keeps Wareham in games. Oftentimes, might give up a run or 2 early on, but keeps it within range for the Wareham batters.
Especially the bullpen, who has been spectacular. 3-0 count now on Levens, who takes ball 4. Another 4-pitch walk, this one the first of the inning.
Command of the zone seems to come and go for Noble, which is rare. Normally, a pitcher either kind of has it or they don't that day, but Noble seems to be in and out, batter to batter.
2 runs allowed, 6 base runners allowed in the game, but 5 strikeouts.
Right.
So here's the most dangerous hitter in the Mariner lineup for the second time tonight. Brock Wilkin, who walked his first time up, scored a run, and takes the fastball away for a ball 1.
And as I mentioned his first time up, he's been very disciplined this summer.
Noble checks it up. Yes, he did. So that's the 6th pitch he saw from Jack Noble, the first strike. Count is 1-1. A runner at first base with 2 outs in the top of the second. Noble steps off and fakes the throw to first base. Just a courtesy there to keep the runner, Tatum Levens, close. He gets an average-sized lead. Ball and a strike on Brock Wilkin. Here's the pitch. Misses down.
Wilkins worked on that discipline all summer. It's when hitters get really dangerous, when they have power, but also the discipline where they don't swing at anything that's not in the zone.
Pickoff throw goes to first, scooped out of the dirt nicely by Yohandy Morales, who keeps the runner in place. That was a disaster waiting to happen, and Noble gets away with it.
Can we give Morales some credit? He's only played 5 or 6 games over at first, but has looked really good since they started putting him over at first. He played third base the entire season for Miami.
2-1 misses outside. And Morales has the power to play first base. And you combine that with the arm that he has coming over from third and the glove that he has coming over from third, makes him really an ideal first baseman. The full package, and that's not something you see from a lot of guys playing first at the next level. Now here's the 3-1 to Wilkin, which is fouled straight back and fills up the count.
And it happened to work out for Wareham that they had a hole at first base. Despina not with the team anymore. Kellum Clark was struggling over at the first base bag and committed a few errors.
And Morales has really separated himself defensively. He hasn't hit well, neither has Clark, but that's where he's made his mark at first base for the Gatemen. Runner takes off, 3-2, 2 outs, and that's ball 4 to Brock Wilkin for the second time tonight.
Well, we're in the second inning, and Noble has now walked 4 batters and hit a batter. Hard to be successful doing that.
And George Carlejo out of the dugout for the second time tonight. 58 pitches is the number now for Jack Noble, and have to believe this will be it for the right-hander. The call to the pen is already made. Noble exits, and we'll be back in a moment with the new arm. Stay with us here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to coordinating and delivering the highest quality healthcare services which enhance the health of all Cape Cod residents and visitors. You can expect this level of patient-centered care throughout our entire healthcare system.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotel, resort, and spa, visit chathambarsinn.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for...
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only get well, but stay well.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod. We continue the top of the second on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The Gatemen went to the pen early, and out comes Blake Soderston.
Soderston had a great first outing against Brewster on the 18th, went 3 scoreless innings, only gave up 1 hit coming from Cal State Northridge. In that first outing, we saw a lot of fastball slider from him. comes in at a tough situation with 2 on and 2 out, and the cleanup man Carter Putz coming to the plate.
After 58 pitches, Jack Noble's night is done. He got through an inning and 2/3 and is responsible for the 2 runners on base. First and second for the Mariners with 2 outs in the inning. And Soderston's first pitch is grounded to the left side. Coming on is Jarvis. Throws it in one motion, and Morales slaps the tag down. What a play by the first baseman for the Gatemen. Getting off the bag, getting the throw, and getting the tag for out number 3. We'll send it to the bottom of the second. The Gatemen down 2-0 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and high-flex classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about the programs in business, accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
That home run's brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. Another scholarship for a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreational management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science, online at www.currycollege.edu. Whether you are recently retired or still working, Fairway Financial can help you create clearly defined retirement income strategies to help protect your wealth, create guaranteed income for life, and provide a legacy for your family. We are committed to earning your trust by thoroughly understanding your goals and dreams and helping you gain greater financial confidence. To learn more, visit Fairway Financial in South Yarmouth or go to
Gatemen down 2-0 as we welcome you back on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Beautiful, cool evening here at Spillane Field.
A dark cloud looming over the field, and we heard some thunder in the background. It's been a beautiful day up to this point, Nick.
Breaking ball is the first pitch in the second inning from Spencer Geesting. Crooks took it away for ball 1. There's a fastball that nips the outside corner. Evens the count at 1 to Jimmy Crooks, the catcher for the Gatemen. 254 on the season, 5 home runs. As the 1-1 swung on and missed, a good changeup from Geesting.
I think you're hyping him up a little bit more, Nick. 2 home runs on the season for Crooks. Not that he hasn't been good at the plate.
He has been good at the plate. Pitch missed in the dirt, so the count goes to 2-2. And we have a couple guys in the Gatemen order who we always credit for not striking out a lot. But with a 2-2 count here on Crook, so I'll wait to make this point to make sure he doesn't strike out here as he fouls one off to the third base side. That's over the shark cage and out of play. Crook's battling with 2 strikes and 82 plate appearances for the catcher out of Oklahoma this year, just 11 strikeouts.
And the last time he struck out was when you said he was going to get a 2-strike hit, so I count that one on you. So only 10 strikeouts on the season.
All right, well, 2-2 to Crooks. Hope he doesn't make me look bad here. It's the pitch misses low and away. I just added 3 home runs to his total by accident, so I think he owes me one. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
The Magas jinx continues.
How do I get out of it?
You just got to keep predicting stuff, and it has to happen one time. Just predict bad things will happen for the Gatemen, and then it'll turn around with something good.
Okay. Cameron James stands in now. First pitch from the left-hander, Geesting in the dirt. He allowed a leadoff double last inning to Tres Gonzalez and retired 4 straight Gatemen since then. Hasn't allowed a run through an inning and a third, as James fouls one off to the first base side and out of play.
James has been quiet this season, only 1 hit, but he did get the monkey off the back with an RBI single against Chatham on Monday. It was in the 9th inning. His first Cape League hit, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Slider misses at the feet of Cameron James. 1 out, nobody on for the Gatemen in the inning. There's a breaking ball that misses low. James more patient in this at-bat than we've seen him in recent weeks. And now facing a hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Geesting's pitch. Driven into left field, and that's down for a base hit. Cameron James got Geesting exactly where he wanted him and then took a 3-1 pitch that was down the middle into left field to put a runner on for the Gatemen with 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd.
That's what we've been waiting for from Cameron James. He has a lot of power and used it well on that swing. Hood had to make a decision. Do I dive for this and possibly let it get by me for an extra base hit, or do I let it drop in for a base hit? And he went with the latter.
So once again in the Gatemen order tonight, the Mississippi State teammates back-to-back. Kellum Clark, the second of the 2, the designated hitter tonight, stands in, fouled off the first pitch he saw.
Well, Clark doesn't have a lot of hits this summer, but when he does, usually for extra bases, 3 doubles and the Cape.
Slider misses upstairs.
I love seeing these 2 Mississippi State guys back-to-back in the order. They're 2 good hitters. Just been waiting for them to explode this summer.
Plenty of time left for them to do it as a high drive lifted to left field. Josh Hood settling under it, and he makes the catch.
Well, Clark was a little under and inside that pitch. Didn't quite get enough of it.
So here's Cade Fergus, who, while he hasn't started every game for the Gatemen, has continued to put together a very solid season. Game after game, when he is in the lineup, he's continued to be productive for Wareham, and here he is with a runner at first base and 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd.
Leads the team with a .404 on base percentage, Nick. And in his last game on Tuesday was 2 for 4 with an RBI double.
Runner takes off, and Cameron James tries to slide into second base, and he dropped the ball. Safe is the call. Cameron James got a break, and the Gatemen move a runner into scoring position after Cameron James was more or less picked off.
Oh, he was picked off and then got lucky. The tag dropped by the second baseman, McDermott. Huge break, because the inning is still going, and now James is in scoring position for Fergus.
James with a good hard slide into the bag knocked the ball out of the glove of Zach Preisner. And now Fergus with a base runner to work with. The first pitch is popped up. That's behind the plate. Tatum Levins will give chase and run out of room as it goes out of play.
And James gets a stolen base for that play. You can hear some of the thunder in the background at Spillane, Nick.
Hopefully
that dark cloud continuing to loom.
Hopefully the umpires don't, as Fergus hits a tapper down the third base line as it rolls foul.
The cloud is now covering as far as we can see out from left field. There is some blue sky in center and right.
Tatum Levens, the catcher, you could see him right there trying to stand the bat up on the plate for Cade Fergus. And he didn't have much luck. Tried it for a good 7-10 seconds before giving it back to Fergus. And the center fielder for the Gatemen waits for the 0-2. Just the batting gloves, taps the helmet, leans back, and now Fergus is ready. Geesting set. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Levens, so the runner stays put. You mentioned his defensive prowess before the game, Jack, and Tatum Levens has showed it off on a couple of occasions so far.
He hasn't had to do a ton. Still just in the second inning, although these first 2 innings are dragging by at Spillane.
The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Cade Fergus down on strikes, and we'll send it to our sideline reporter, Julia Joseph, who has a report down on the field.
Julia Joseph here alongside Cade Kern. Cade, last game you guys went into the 8th. You were up 2-0, but that just wasn't enough to secure the win. How important is it to secure runs early so that doesn't happen again tonight?
I mean, it's a big factor. Just having those runs early in the game just gives you that cushion, and just gives the pitcher a little more confidence going into it. So I think it definitely helps, and we need to put some runs up early.
So it's the 3rd inning right now. You guys are down by 2. How are you going to turn this thing around?
Well, our guys are putting some good bats on the ball right now, so we just they need to stay in their approaches and just keep swinging the bat, and good things will happen.
Great, thank you, Cade.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Julia. Through 2 innings, 2-0 Harwich. Blake Soderston on the mound after getting the final out in the top of the 2nd. And Josh Hood, Dylan Phillips, and Jordan Beck, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, are coming to the plate for Harwich. Both of their runs came in the first after 5 straight batters reached. And there was more trouble in the second after Noble walked back-to-back hitters with 2 outs, but Soderston came in and forced a 6-3 groundout, with Morales putting a nice tag on Putz after he came off the bag to retire the side. Josh Hood set and ready to go in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from Soderston is sent back up the middle. Fergus trailing to his left and makes the catch on the move.
Love the approach from Josh Hood, attacking the first pitch from Soderston, who had only thrown 1 pitch in the ball game so far. And put good wood on it, just Cade Fergus right there at the right time to record the out.
1 out, nobody on in the top of the 3rd. 2-0 Harwich. First pitch to Phillips is fouled straight back. Shift on for Wareham, 3 infielders to the right side. Outfield playing relatively straight up. Phillips walked his first time up in the first. 0-1, fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes to Phillips, Nick. Out of Kansas State, a great get for Harwich late in the season. He's DHing today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled over the left side.
Well, Phillips wasn't with the team the first couple times that the Gatemen played Harwich. But out of Kansas State, 2nd team all Big 12 this year, 2nd in the Big 12 in home runs, 6th in the Big 12 in runs batted in. And after a big season hitting .333, he has picked up right where he left off on the Cape.
Another 0-2 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt. Now a ball and 2 strikes to Phillips. He was a 3-year starter for Kansas State. KSU lost to TCU in the Big 12 semifinals this year to end their season. 1-2 pitch is a fastball outside.
We've been covering roster moves from our own team as well as the teams around the league throughout the season, but this is around the time that we've heard things start to settle down. The rosters you see now are likely what it's going to be from here on out.
2-2, a breaking ball low and inside. Full count for Phillips. And that's why this is such a good addition for Harwich. You don't see a lot of great players added onto your roster late. Payoff pitch, driven foul.
Well, there's two big times for turnover. There's one at the end of the playoff/College World Series when a group of guys comes in, and then after the draft, some guys will leave from each team, and another group will come in, and now that both of those things are done, we should start to see it settle down.
Payoff pitch called, strike 3. Just got the outer edge of the plate on a nice breaking ball. 2 away with nobody on now for Jordan Beck. 2-0 Harwich in the top of the third. Beck struck out looking his first time up. That was in the first inning. First pitch to Beck is a fastball low. 1-0 to the center fielder from Tennessee. Speaking of good late additions, Soderstrom was one for Wareham. His second appearance on the mound this season, as the 1-0 is another fastball low.
All the pitching we'll see today is a late addition for the Gatemen. Noble came on after the start of the season, then Soderstrom a little bit after him.
2-0 pitch is a breaking ball for a strike on the outer half.
May see Cole Kirschipper later. That would be my guess, at least. He came on at the same time Soderstrom did just a few days ago.
The 2-1. Another breaking ball and another strike at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Beck. Had his first home run of the season a couple days ago at YD. The 2-2 is a fastball low. Full count now. Beck is a high-level prospect in the 2022 class. He was drafted out of high school in 2019 in the 14th round by the Red Sox. As the payoff pitch is fouled back, Beck stays alive.
And what's not to love about this guy? I can see why the Red Sox drafted him. Some power to all fields, an athletic defender, a good base runner, a quick explosive swing as he waits for the 3-2.
Sends it back again. Third payoff pitch due for Jordan Beck. And he has the frame as well, Nick. 6'3", 215.
Got a great arm. An outfield assist to second base in the SEC championship game. Showed it off on a number of occasions this season.
Third payoff pitch. Driven hard to center field. Fergus a step back now coming up. He'll make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Blake Soderstrom to start off the third. It's 2-0 Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Feel the power of a GMC. Test drive one today at Robertson's GMC, down on Cranberry Highway.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. Located on the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Discover Keystone Place, the best option in Cape Cod.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham Marion line.
2-0 Harwich. We head to the bottom of the third on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jack Sadighian, Nick Magas, Jarvis, Gonzalez, and Troy, the 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Gatemen. The first pitch to Jarvis, he shows bunt but pulls back and takes a fastball out of the zone.
Gatemen picked up a hit off Giesting in each of the first 2 innings, but left a couple base runners stranded, and they're scoreless as we enter the third.
That pitch lined off the glove of the first baseman, putts into right field. The base hit for Jarvis to start the last of the third.
Well, that's probably a play that Putz wants back. Hit him in the glove. Knows he can make that catch, but Jarvis, with a good swing of the bat and a hard-hit baseball, will be awarded a single and has the Gatemen in business with nobody out.
And Tres Gonzalez coming to the plate. He doubled his first time up. First pitch to him is a breaking ball for a strike. Gonzalez's double at the time led off the bottom of the first. He was left stranded on third. 0-1, a fastball for a strike on the outer edge. Gonzalez rears back, not thrilled with either the call or the fact that he took the pitch.
It'll be interesting to see what the Gatemen do in steal situations. Giesting already had Cameron James essentially picked off in the first inning.
Here's the 0-2. It's a slider upstairs.
And not necessarily that kind of situation with nobody out and the 2 best hitters for the Gatemen coming up, but with Jarvis, good speed at first base, have to keep an eye out for going first move on Giesting and remembering what he did to Cameron James in the second inning.
1-2 pitch is lifted to left field. Hood coming back on it, makes the catch while moving to his right. Jarvis was nearly to second, now retreats to the first base bag. 1 away in the last of the third. Jarvis alone base runner on first, and Tommy Troy coming to the plate.
Tres Gonzalez shaking his head as he goes back to the dugout, and he's just frustrated with those first couple strike calls. That wasn't what ultimately did him in, but it forced him to be more defensive later in the count than he otherwise would have been, and that's ultimately what induced the flyout for the first out for the Gatemen.
So maybe this induces Jarvis to try and steal more, Nick. First pitch to Troy is a breaking ball low for ball 1. Jarvis 4 for 5 on steal attempts this season.
Wouldn't be a bad idea here.
Troy, a deep fly out to center his first time up. Throw it to first to check on Jarvis. So Giesting knows this could possibly be a time to steal. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded right side, taken on a hop by McDermott. He goes to second for 1. The throw to first is in time. 4-6-3 double play retires the third inning. 2-0 Harwich on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you. The AD Makepeace Company also owns and operates Reed Custom Soils, the area's leading manufacturer of custom soils, including CU structural soil and Rooflight certified green roof media. Reed Custom Soils is also a manufacturer and distributor of baseball infield mixing conditioners. To learn more, visit admakepeace.com or reedcustomsoils.com.
We head to the fourth, 2-0 Harwich. Preisner, McDermott, and Kavanaugh, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Mariners. And Blake Soderston on the mound. The right-hander has gone an inning and a third. Seen the minimum, 4 batters. His first pitch to Preisner is a slider for a strike. Preisner struck out looking to leave the bases loaded in the first. That's where Harwich got both of their runs. 0-1 pitch, fouled over the right side.
Preisner, teammate of Carter Putz, also in the lineup tonight for the Mariners. Both of those guys domers, playing on the 2021 Mariners. College teammates of Nico Cavadas and Joe Boyle.
That pitch fouled away again. So still 0-2 to Preisner.
Cavadas and Boyle, also former Mariners. They played on the 2019 team. Cavadas, one of the best hitters in the ACC, one of the best hitters in the country this year, was ultimately drafted.
0-2 pitch. A fastball just high. Preisner was on the All-ACC tournament team this season. Caught fire in the postseason for Notre Dame. 1-2 pitch. Driven into the gap in left field. That gets down. Diodati struggling to handle it. Preisner thought about going for second, but retreats back to the first base bag. He's tagged out. Wow. Preisner thought about second, then tried to race back to first, but ends up getting tagged out at the base.
Well, that is a headsy play by Jim Jarvis, who got the cutoff throw and an absolute rocket from the shortstop position, catching that ball in shallow center field, knowing exactly what Preisner was thinking, taking a big turn around first and getting the throw over in a hurry to Morales, who applies the tag.
The first pitch to McDermott is fouled back, 0-1. That's a 7-6-3 put out after the base hit by Preisner. That pitch, a fastball cut on and missed. 0-2 to McDermott. So now 1 out in the top of the fourth, 2-0 Harwich, and nobody on for the 9-hitter McDermott.
We saw Jarvis at second base earlier in this season.
That pitch chopped to the right side. Troy has it on a backhand. His throw to first is there. 2 away.
But Jarvis at second base, he's now playing shortstop. And we know he's an athlete, but if there were any questions about his arm strength, they were answered on that play a couple moments ago.
2 outs, nobody on for Press Kavanaugh. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple strikeouts. It's 2-0 Harwich in the top of the fourth. First pitch to the lefty Kavanaugh is a fastball for a strike on the outer edge. Shift on again for Kavanaugh. 3 Gatemen on the right side of the infield. The 0-1. A fastball just low.
Yet to see if that shift is really necessary for Kavanaugh. We'll give Josh Rodericks the benefit of the doubt, but he hasn't put a ball in play in.
Hopefully we don't have to see. 1-1. Slider, miss low and inside. 2-1 to Kavanaugh. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Now 2-2.
And this is one of the more dramatic shifts you're going to see. Jim Jarvis, the shortstop, all the way to the second base side of the bag. Tommy Troy in shallow right, and then Cameron James, the third baseman, charged with covering the entire left side of the infield.
2 outs, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch fouled away. It was a tough first 2 innings for the Gatemen pitching staff. Jack Noble went 1 2/3, gave up 2 earned off of 2 hits, 4 walks, and a hit batter as the 2-2 is shot up the middle for a base hit. Kavanaugh went away from the shift with a line drive up the middle. And he's on first with 2 outs for Tatum Levins. 2-0 Harwich in the top of the 4th.
Well, either way, he hit that hard on a line and over the head of anybody, no matter how perfectly they would have been positioned in the infield.
And so Tatum Levins, the left-handed hitter, comes to the plate. The catcher has reached both times. He's been up, hit by a pitch in the first, then walked in the second. Soderson a throw to first to check on Kavanaugh, nearly got him.
And that's part of the launch angle argument that's taken over baseball nowadays with infielders starting to shift more. A lot of the remedy to that for hitters is just hit the ball in the air. Don't even give them a chance by putting the ball on the ground.
First pitch to Levins, a fastball outside. Well, you'll also see players shift into the shallow outfield, too, to maybe combat some of that launch angle.
Well, you see outfield shifting, but
and you see that more in the majors. That's not really a thing we see this summer.
Not too much, but
1-0. Lifted foul. Straight back over the press box.
But either way, now that you have metrics that have come out to say these are the optimal launch angles and exit velocities for balls and how often they fall for hits, you rarely see balls hit on the ground that end up getting through, and that's part of the argument nowadays.
The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Crooks blocked it up. Kavanaugh heading for second. He dives in safe. No throw. Crooks didn't have a chance as that ball got away from him in front of home plate. Good time for Kavanaugh to take second.
And Kavanaugh didn't have as good a read on that ball as I originally thought. He took a couple steps off first base and then a couple extra steps before realizing Crooks couldn't find it and taking second base. If Jimmy was able to locate that ball a little bit quicker, Kavanaugh would have been in trouble.
He's now in scoring position with 2 away. That one lifted into shallow left field. Diodati coming on, moving to his right now, leans back and makes the catch. Harwich leaves one on after a 2-out single. It's still 2-0 Mariners. We head to the bottom of the 4th.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Get your glow on at Compassionate Med Spa. They're compassionate about getting your perfect skin. Come get your glow on. Call 774-678-7319. Mention this ad and get 25% off at Hydra Facial.
Two 2-0 Harwich. We head to the last of the 4th. Jack Sadighian, Nick Magas. Spencer Giesting, the left-hander, still on the mound. He's given up 1 hit in each inning, but ultimately all of those runners left stranded for the Gatemen.
Well, they just need to bring runs across the plate. That's been the story of the season, and so far, they've done their job getting runners on base. It's just about moving them into scoring position and ultimately scoring them.
Diodati, Morales, and Crooks, the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. See if they have any success here in the bottom of the 4th. Wareham searching for its 10th win of the season. Harwich already well above that point at 13-8-4. They've won 9 of their last 15 games. That pitch to Diodati is a fastball for a strike, 0-1.
Diodati with a chance to extend a 4-game hit streak.
The 0-1, a fastball upstairs. Now a ball and a strike to Diodati. And the first time he came up, he had Gonzalez on third with 1 out, but ended up striking out. The 1-1 checked up, taken inside for ball 2. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball for a strike on the inner half. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Diodati. Being played straight up by the Mariner defense. The pitch, a breaking ball inside, full count.
Well, based on the way he's been pitching Diodati so far tonight, the breaking ball was almost a guarantee. Now, with a 3-2 count, not so much.
The pitch, a fastball. Diodati swung on it and missed. 2 strikeouts now for the Gatemen left fielder and 1 away with nobody on in the bottom of the 4th as Yohandy Morales comes to the plate.
Well, Diodati's not happy with himself about that one, and quite frankly, he shouldn't be. Giesting reared back and threw his best fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Owen just missed it.
The first pitch to Morales is a fastball inside, 1-0. 2-0 Harwich. Morales flew out to right his first time up, as that pitch is a breaking ball for a strike to make it 1-1. Wareham 2 nights ago, a heartbreaker against Hyannis, a 5-4 loss. The 1-1 grounded up the middle. That will get through to center. A slow roller for Morales, but a base hit nonetheless. And he's aboard with 1 out. First base runner in the 4th for Wareham. Tying run coming to the plate now with Jimmy Crooks.
Well, sometimes what you need to do to get out of a slow start is just put the bat on the ball and try and make something happen. Morales going with a breaking ball out of the zone. At least it appeared to me to be out of the zone from up here. And setting it up the middle for a base hit.
First pitch to Crooks is a breaking ball that hits the front of the plate. Morales heading to second. He's there safe. The throw got away to center field. Morales started to take off when he realized that ball was bouncing away from Levins, but nearly got thrown out at second. Luckily, the throw off of Preisner and into shallow center. It's 1-0 to Crooks. He has Morales in scoring position at second with 1 out. Second Gateman runner that's been in scoring position. Third Gateman runner. Crooks struck out his first time up. That was to start the bottom of the 2nd. Lights on at Spillane. Dark cloud looming over the field, but we're still playing. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball high and outside. No rain, just some ominous thunder in the background. We haven't seen any lightning. As Nick knocks on wood. Morales a big lead off second. Giesting looks over that way, now delivers the 2-0. It's a slider outside. Levins wants to talk at the mound with Giesting. Crooks ahead 3-0. And Morales on second with 1 out. 2-0 Harwich in the bottom of the 4th. The Gatemen have been applying pressure with base runners in the first 4 innings, Nick, but no runs so far.
Giesting doing a good job with runners on base. Working with the runners as well as he's working with these batters so far. Keeping them close, keeping them from moving over. And for the most part, worked through clean innings of baseball as he tries to battle back against Jimmy Crooks.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. A fastball outside. Crooks walks. Runners on first and second now with 1 out, and Cameron James coming to the plate.
Well, you would have liked that to be a more competitive at bat for Jimmy Crooks if you're Spencer Giesting, but the way these next two hitters in the order have been struggling for the Gatemen, not the worst thing in the world. Put a good hitter in Jimmy Crooks on base and then challenge some guys who have struggled so far. Make these two guys hurt you. It'll be Cameron James and then Kellum Clark.
Giesting working from the letters. The first pitch to James is a fastball outside for ball one. It's true Cameron James has been struggling, Nick, but he roped a ball into left field for a base hit his first time up tonight. That was in the second. 2 on, 1 away in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Harwich. First time the Gatemen have had multiple base runners tonight. That pitch, a breaking ball well inside. Now 2-0.
Levin's got crossed up, and I'm surprised he stays behind the plate, not trying to talk over the signs. He was waiting for a fastball high, and then the bottom dropped out of that slider from Giesting.
Another opportunity for Wareham in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 pitch. A fastball for a strike on the inner half. They've had base runners so far, but this is their first time with 2 on the bases. Runners on first and second in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out for Cameron James. Giesting, the 2-1 pitch. A fastball low and inside.
And this is exactly where James had him in his first at-bat, a 3-1 count. And in a fastball count, hurt Spencer Giesting was his goal. That's exactly what he did with the hard single to left field. Doesn't want to not walk another batter here. We'll see what he comes with. 3 balls and a strike.
This is a big pitch. Here it is. A breaking ball for a strike. Got the low inside corner. Nice pitch from Giesting and a confident breaking ball.
Just a get-me-over slider that Cameron James had no choice but to lay off. Giesting with such confidence in that pitch. Just a 2-pitch mix for him. That's been most of what we've seen so far, but working them both together nicely and worked it back to 3-2 to James.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off. It was another slider. James able to knuckle it off the bat at the Gatemen dugout. Two 2-0 Harwich in the bottom of the fourth. Runners on first and second for Wareham with 1 out. And Cameron James waiting for the second payoff pitch of his at-bat. Wagging the bat above the plate, now settles it above his right shoulder. Giesting from the letters, a look at second. The pitch, a fastball called, strike 3. That draws some boos from the Gatemen faithful.
Well, that's the advantage you have when you're Spencer Giesting and you have a secondary pitch that you are so confident in throwing for a strike. You throw a 3-1 slider to Cameron James, then you throw a 3-2 slider in 2 fastball counts, and then right when he's least expecting it, you blow the fastball right by him, and even if it's down the middle, he has no choice but to lay off, just guessing between the 2 of those pitches.
A big strikeout for the second out. Kellum Clark to the plate. The first pitch to him is a breaking ball in front of the plate for ball 1.
The thing I love most about the slider from Giesting is he has such feel for it in the zone. He's able to locate it almost as well, if not as well, as he's able to locate his fastball. Not just get it over for strikes, but hit spots, and that's exactly what he's done against the Gatemen so far.
Clark flew out to left his first time up. The 1-0 pitch is a slider for a strike on the outer half. 2 on, 2 out for Clark. DH today from Mississippi State. Spent a lot of time as DH for them this past season. The 1-1, a fastball just a tad outside.
Well, Giesting got the outer half a moment ago, tested him even farther outside. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back inside with either one of those 2 pitches to Kellum Clark.
The 2-1 from the letters. It's a breaking ball on the outer half for a strike. So he stays on the outside of the plate. He gets a big strike call. 2-2 to Kellum Clark. Clark known for his power. Mississippi State used a lot of it in the postseason. 3 homers, 9 RBIs. The 2-2 fouled away, lined over the left side.
Well, he continues to stay away from Clark, and I wouldn't be surprised still if he tries to come back. He's trying to set up that inside part of the plate, but if he can stay away from Clark, even off the plate away, where he's been getting calls all night, that would be the best option for Giesting in this situation.
2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts retire the 4th for Giesting. The Gatemen leave 2 on. They've now left 4 on through 4 innings. 2-0 Harwich after 4.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Heart of the order coming up for Harwich as Blake Soderston gets back to the mound for the Gatemen. The right-hander will face Brock Wilkin, Carter Putz, and then Josh Hood. 2-0 ball game in favor of the Mariners as we start the 5th inning on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Well, I said it to you during the break, Nick, and I'll say it again here on the air. This game so far has been a snapshot of what we've seen from Wareham this entire season. 1 bad inning to start off in the first where they give up 2 runs, and then the hitters doing a good job getting on base but failing to score runs.
Since that first inning, the pitching has been very good, especially from Blake Soderston, who misses outside with a slider.
There's typically 1 inning a game or 2 where the pitching struggles. Against Hyannis 2 nights ago, that was the 8th.
In this ball game, it was the top of the first. Jack Noble started the game for the Gatemen, worked into some trouble, allowed 5 straight base runners, and ultimately 2 runs. As Wilkin with a 2-0 count takes a fastball for a strike.
Wilkin's already drawn a couple walks so far today, his first 2 times up.
Well, the scouting report to this guy is just don't throw him strikes. As good a hitter as he is, into this one hitting .319. And goes right back up the middle. Tommy Troy off his glove for a second, now gets it to first in plenty of time for the out.
Well played by Troy. That was a bit of an awkward line drive because it wasn't far enough to run up and make a catch, but it came up on him quick where he had a short hop. Did a good job just blocking it with his body, regathering. He knew he had time, and he threw a strike over to first.
Not to mention it was off the end of the bat. It had some spin on it, and we've seen some funny hops on this stone dust throughout the season, and Tommy Troy just using his body to make a play. That one fouled off the foot of Carter Putz, and he comes up hobbling. It finished in fair territory, but hit the batter in the box, so it'll go down as a foul ball.
Now, Nick, I didn't play baseball in high school. Did you ever foul pitches off your foot in high school?
I mean, in high school it's not like this, but I mean, yeah, it happens and it hurts. It depends on where it gets you. It depends on where it gets you, and it depends on a lot of guys now, as you see, are wearing that guard on the front foot especially. But to be able to do that, you have to have incredibly quick hands because you got to get the bat head out so far in front of the ball that it actually gets straight down and hits you in the front foot. That's usually where guys get hit. And you see broken feet that way. Dustin Pedroia broke a foot in batting practice doing that. And it's just bad luck when it does happen, but it's bad luck when you fall one off your foot, of course, and then where it hits you and how it gets you is just as important because that usually just signifies how serious it is. As Carter Putz looks to be okay, takes a second, steps back in, and now takes a strike from Blake Soderston.
Soderston showing no sympathy, delivers a fastball at the knees right away.
As the 0-2's fouled off. A lot of times a pitcher, yes, as you said, Jack, no sympathy. They'll attack the bottom of the zone after they see that happen because that's where the hitters will typically foul balls off their feet, and no hitter wants to get back in the box after experiencing something like that and do it again. So you see a lot of guys come with a low pitch, either a breaking ball or a fastball, and Soderston did it right there. Now we try the 0-2 again as it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, sends the count to 1-2.
Soderston's done a great job. He simplifies his approach pitching. It's mainly fastball slider, but it's so much better to have two pitches that you have complete control of than trying to use a full arsenal that you don't know where pitches are going to go.
Fastball got it by him for strike 3. Carter Putz still a little bit ginger on that front leg, heads back to the dugout. And that's the second out of the 5th. Josh Hood coming to the dish.
Hood after a single in the first on a 7-game hit streak now. He's interesting, Nick, because he was drafted in the 20th round by the Red Sox this season.
First pitch is popped behind the plate. Crooks will run out of room as it goes out of play.
But he still hasn't signed with Boston yet, so he's here playing for Harwich. There's no telling whether he's going to sign or head to Penn State where he was supposed to transfer in the fall.
20th round. You have a 20-round draft. A very late pickup. Squeezing it in at the very end as there's a fastball taken off the inside corner.
It's weird because the draft has always been 40 rounds except for the last 2 years, at least recently in the last decade or so.
1-1's a slider swung through and missed.
So it's weird to see a guy drafted in the 20th round just sneaking in at the end of the draft because normally that's right in the center of the draft.
Especially with a draft that, because it was so short 2 years ago in 2020, or last year in 2020, left so many good players undrafted. So now you had a 20-round draft that was still shorter than normal with a draft class that was double the size of what it normally is.
Harder than ever to get drafted.
And we've seen that as the 1-2 is fouled off to the screen.
Yeah, we saw good players, really good players, go later than they normally would in a draft.
Absolutely.
And that's just a tough break for players coming up in this draft class.
Well, we'll still be feeling the effect of that for a couple years to come, as this year's guys who didn't get drafted will likely wait till next year and make it even harder for the 2022s who are coming up. Fastball missed low, so now a 2-2 count on Josh Hood. 6-game hit streak on the line as the slider missed away. Three and 2 count. Soderston out of the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Driven back up the middle. Cade Fergus giving a late jump and now dives and makes the catch. Cade Fergus made that a little bit harder than it needed to be, but gets the out nonetheless. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0 in Wareham.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all of your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all of your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus something more.
Back for the bottom of the fifth. The Gatemen will send Fergus, Jarvis, and then the top of the order to the plate to face a new right-hander coming on for the Mariners.
It's Nick Stewart out of James Madison making his Cape League debut. Nick, he had a tough season for JMU in 2021, 12.91 ERA in 9 appearances, went 15 1/3. His struggle was walks. Walked 23 hitters, did record 20 strikeouts. So we'll see how he does in his CCBL debut. Saw a fastball and slider from him in his warm-up.
So the first pitch from Stewart is out of the windup as Cade Fergus squares around to bunt and did not go as he leaned out of the way of a high fastball.
That's one of the more awkward sequences you'll see. He was holding out the bunt, leaned back, went down to a knee while still holding his bat up in the air.
Well, that I can tell you is not a good feeling. When you square around to bunt, you get a fastball that comes at you right after you show the front of your body to the pitcher. As Fergus takes a strike, evens the count at 1.
Well, Fergus struck out his first time up with a runner in scoring position. Chance to start off the bottom of the 5th in a good way for Wareham.
High leg kick and a pitch upstairs.
As usual for Wareham, no problem with the base runners, just a problem with bringing the runs across through these first 4 innings. But you still got to keep working and get those runners on.
Nice to get Geesting out of the game after 4 innings. They hit him okay, but just couldn't bring runners across. He goes down, and that's a ground ball down the third baseline and fair. Fergus uses the speed, gets around first base as that ball goes into the corner. He's in second with a leadoff double. The Gatemen cooking with a leadoff man aboard, and Jim Jarvis coming to the plate.
Well, that was perfectly placed. A chopper down the third base line gets through and into the corner. Fergus uses his speed to get a double. And that's his second double in 2 games now, Nick. Gatemen, you feel like have to find a way to bring this one in.
We've said it before about Fergus. He's not always in the lineup. Actually, at this point, really just every 3rd game or so. But continues to be a silent and effective producer for the Gatemen. As Jarvis lays down a bunt, it goes down the line, and that's going to stay fair.
Oh, my goodness. No way.
A beautiful bunt from Jim Jarvis. Started to go foul, worked its way back into fair territory, and when it was all said and done, was fair by about 6 inches.
I kid you not, that ball rolled onto the white chalk. The grass meets the dirt on the white chalk here at the infield, or here on the infield at Spillane Field. That hit the chalk and then pushed back a little bit into the grass. It's almost like it hit a perfect blade of grass that just nudged it back over so it didn't drift into the dirt. You can't place a bunt better than that, Nick.
So it was supposed to be a sacrifice, but a perfectly placed push bunt turns into runners on the corners and nobody out with the top of the order at the plate. Tres Gonzalez 1 for 2 with a double in the first. took ball one.
In a well-hit ball to left field his last time up in the third.
Gatemen have gotten them on and moved them over. Now a chance to get them in. As Gonzalez takes a pitch up and away. He's got the catbird seat 2-0.
Well, Gonzalez talked to us a few days ago about how he tends to press early in the season, but now he is in the zone. A patient hitter, waits for a pitch he likes, and excellent at driving it up the middle.
He should get a fastball here. And with most of these Gatemen hitters, most of these hitters in general, those are the pitches they like to drive. Stewart delivers the 2-0. There's the fastball that misses low and away.
It's a big miss. Now 3-0. You have to think full take on the 3-0 pitch, but a lot of options 3-1.
Either way, Tres Gonzalez in a good situation. Stewart trying to find the strike zone. 3 balls, no strikes on the leadoff man for the Gatemen. That's out. Oh, late strike call.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm happy about it. Tres Gonzalez with a chance to swing the bat now. 3 balls and a strike. 3 balls and a half a strike. It's a 3 and a 1/2 count right now. Runners at the corners, nobody out. And here's the pitch. Gonzalez sends a drive to left field. It's twisting toward the corner and foul.
Well, Gonzalez was sitting back on a breaking ball, and he was just a tad late. That one hooking away into foul territory. This is a big pitch here. Runners on the corners, full count. There's nobody out, which normally you think, okay, no big deal, but for the Gatemen, this is. Gonzalez needs to find a way to, at the very least, put the ball in play.
We wait for a big payoff pitch. Jarvis takes off from first, and Gonzalez fouls it away. The hit and run was on. Gonzalez did his job. Spoiled a pretty good pitch. And Jarvis returns to first.
Yeah,
Fergus stands at third.
Got a fastball up in the zone that I think he normally would have taken.
Either way, forcing Stewart to throw another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And that's strike 3. Gonzalez is not happy about that call, and that actually goes back to his last at-bat, where he was unhappy about the first 2 strikes that were called on him as well. He got a bad 3-0 call, he got a questionable 3-2 call, and he is retired for the first out of the inning.
That's a really bad break for the right fielder, Gonzalez, because he had a great take 3-0. I'm sure he was take all the way, but still, that was a ball off the plate. And then gets a close pitch, 3-2 called for a strike.
And a very mild-mannered guy as Jarvis takes off. Tommy Troy slaps one to the shortstop. The throw will go to first, and that will score a run. A good job by Jim Jarvis taking second base on what would have been an easy double play ball to end the inning. Scores a run for the Gatemen. And Tommy Troy with a 6-3 ground out and the first RBI of the night for Wareham. It's now 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Troy's 10th RBI of the season, and thank goodness Jarvis was heading for second because that was a tailor-made double play waiting to happen, but a run comes across finally for Wareham.
So Diodati gets a first pitch fastball, takes it low. His Alabama teammate Jim Jarvis, the lone base runner, on second.
That's a tying run.
The bats have started to come alive for the Gatemen in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs, 1-0 count on the 3-hitter, Owen Diodati. Chopper 2-hopper to second base. McDermott makes the easy pitch to first, and that's out number 3. Gatemen get one back as we send it to the 6th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. Located on the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Discover Keystone Place, the best option in Cape Cod.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
What's up, Gatemen fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gatemen.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gatemen gear today. Soderston back out for the Gatemen as we start the top of the sixth. 6, 7, 8 hitters coming to the plate for Harwich. Wareham cut the deficit in half in the bottom of the fifth. They were down 2-0, got a run back, but a promising inning could have turned into quite a few more as a couple batters came up unable to get the job done. And now Soderston back out, gets strike one over the plate to Dylan Phillips out of Kansas State. Phillips cuts through an off-speed pitch. Soderston quickly ahead, 0-2.
Phillips coming into this game off of a 3 RBI performance against YD Wednesday. Drew a walk in the first, but then struck out. So he's been a little quiet.
Fastball off the plate. Deja vu all over again.
Tres Gonzalez wants a word.
Tres Gonzalez has wanted a word all night, and I don't blame him as we wait for the 1-2. Slider inside.
In the first real boos we've heard from Gatemen fans that were echoing across the field. Normally you hear one or two fans, not a fan of the call, but on those couple pitches to Gonzalez.
Pop fly sent to the left side of the infield. Chasing it back is James. Diodati calls him off and makes the catch. And I think I started to say this last inning and didn't quite get it done after a ball was put in play, but Tres Gonzalez is one of the kindest guys, one of the funniest guys, and one of the most mild-mannered guys you're going to meet. And
Very
he is
laid
upset
back
with calls. At least there's something going on. Big swing and a miss from Jordan Beck. The center fielder out of Tennessee, 0-2 tonight. And now Soderston once again quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
Soderston just throws strikes. And usually that bodes pretty well for you when you're pitching. You get ahead on hitters, and you have options. The hitter down in the count is on their heels.
That's exactly how he had Phillips, how he has Beck now, and how he's had most of these Mariners tonight. That pitch fouled off. Beck staying alive with 2 strikes. It was Jack Noble who started the game for the Gatemen. He ran into trouble in the first. Allowed the only 2 runs that have come across for Harwich tonight. Soderston, after an inning and 2/3, came on in relief. He has been very good since then. Try again with the 0-2 as it's blocked by Crooks in the dirt.
Soderston, a guy going to Cal State Northridge that could potentially have some colleges in his ear if he continues to do well this summer about transferring over in the fall. And, of course, plenty of Major League scouts around the Cape that will take notice if he has more outings like his first, which he's done so far tonight.
The windup in the pitch is checked up and called strike 3.
Well, now it's the Mariners' turn to complain.
Well, I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to take it. 2 outs now, as that was called strike 3 on a pitch that Jimmy Crooks turned his glove over to the forehand side to make the catch, which generally is just an indication that.
Generally an indication of a strike on the low inside corner.
Good way to put it, Jack. His fastball cut through. Zach Preisner in the box now, 1 for 2 with a base hit in the 4th. He actually took a big turnaround first and was thrown out, so never really on base tonight. As another fastball from Soderstrom has him once again ahead of a Mariner hitter, 0-2.
Batter comes up. 2 pitches later, it's an 0-2 count.
Sounds about right, as the pitch is in the dirt.
Preisner was the one who singled in the 4th, but thrown out at the first base bag, 7-6-3.
The 1-2 checked up. No, he did not. Looked close. The first base ump made the call and said no swing. So the count evens at 2 with 2 outs and nobody on.
Just barely held back.
Such an arbitrary definition of what is a swing. Some people look at the plate, some people look at the intent, but either way, it goes 2-2 and that one's fouled off.
There should be a very simple way to determine it. If you get more than halfway around in your swing, you went around.
But halfway is such an arbitrary definition.
Not really. Halfway in your swing is, if your barrel crosses that.
That's
plane.
different. If the barrel crosses something, that's what they're trying to get at.
That's halfway in your swing.
With the front of the plate. We'll continue. This is the 2-2 is lifted to center field. Cade Fergus drifting toward the left center gap, has a play, and gets the out. Soderstrom continues to work cleanly through the Mariner order. And we'll send it now down to our sideline reporter, Julia Joseph.
Julia Joseph here with a rundown of the league standings and the playoffs. Due to COVID-19 and the shortened season, only 4 teams will make the playoffs this year, which makes it all the more crucial to get that first and second place slots in your division. Currently, the Brewster Whitecaps hold the first place in the Eastern Division, while the Bourne Braves hold first place in the West. Our Gatemen are currently held for second place, tied with the Cotuit Kettleers. So it is all that more crucial for the Gatemen to snag that second place in the division if they want a shot at the playoffs. Sending it back to you guys.
Nick Stewart back out there atop the hill for the Harwich Mariners, who protect a 2-1 lead as we enter the Gateman half of this 6th inning.
Another competitive game against Harwich, Nick. The Gatemen want some revenge despite a tie the last time these two teams played. We all remember how it ended with the error to first base to bring in the tying run. And then the Gatemen leaving the winning run in scoring position.
So Morales strides to the plate. Yohandi tonight, 1 for 2 with a base hit in the 4th. Also 4 walks in his last 3 games. He's yet to record one tonight, but the plate discipline has been there. Stewart, the big right-hander, stares down the corner infielder out of the University of Miami and delivers a breaking ball down.
Well, early in the season, Nick, Justin Williams, who since has been drafted but came from Penn State, struggled to start the season, and I kept saying he hits the ball really hard a lot, but just hasn't been getting lucky. And then he caught fire a couple weeks into the season, 4 home runs in the last 6 games before he left. I feel like Morales is in the same type of situation as Williams. He's seeing the baseball well. He's hitting the ball hard, but it just hasn't translated yet to his stat line.
That one up and in off the glove of Levens to the backstop it goes. And for Williams, he was hitting the ball hard and right at guys, and they were just recording outs and balls that in most situations would be hits. And how he remedied it, he just started hitting the ball over everybody's head. He went yard to the left, he went yard to right, he went yard to center, and when it was all said and done, 4 home runs for him on the Cape League season before he left and was ultimately drafted. And now Morales takes a strike.
And he was the only real positional guy that the Gatemen lost to the draft, but it hurt a lot because his bat was scorching hot as he left.
Meanwhile, they've had more than competent help at third base between Morales and Brannigan and now Cameron James and Sean McLean a few days ago. So if there's one spot where they can afford to lose somebody, granted Williams wasn't an easy one to lose, it was the third base position. Where they've started now 5 guys over the course of the season. Handy Morales waits for the 2-2. Checks it up, takes a ball, and the count goes full.
Haven't seen Stewart show a true strikeout pitch so far. Got a strikeout on Gonzalez on a questionable slider.
And there it is to Morales. Went right through the off-speed pitch. Looked like a slider from Stewart, and that's out number 1 in the inning.
That was another good AB from Morales, just not the result he wanted. Battled in the count. Had a couple good swings, but has to head back to the dugout.
So that brings up Jimmy Crooks, 0 for 1 with a walk. Righty-lefty is the matchup as Stewart delivers a breaking ball up and away. Crooks, a .254 hitter coming into this game. And sends a ground ball to the right side. Diving attempt and through. Jimmy Crooks with a ground ball off the end of the bat. It finds its way into right field for a 1-out base hit.
Well, now the 7th hit for Wareham on the night. They have a hit in all 6 innings, but that one just passed Putz. Dove for it, couldn't quite reach it. And into right field, Crooks will take it. We get Cameron James, who's put some good swings, who's put on some good swings so far in this game at the plate.
James 1 for 2 with a single in the second. He was ultimately stranded at second base. And as Crooks gets a lead off first, he checks it up and takes a strike. Outfield straight up, spread out. The infield at double play depth, as a ground ball here would likely end the inning. 1 out. 0-1 is the count on James. That one's popped over the right side and foul. Crooks singled a moment ago. He stands at first base. 1 out in the inning. A 2-1 lead for the Mariners over the Gatemen. Righty-righty matchup as we wait for the 0-2 to James. It's in the dirt. It skips away from the catcher Levens, and Crooks is into second base and now takes a turn and pulls up. A wild pitch advances the runner, and now a man in scoring position for Cameron James, who already has a hit tonight.
And that's a tying run in scoring position. James's first time up. A laser to left field off of his bat. Can't be as selective here. That was a 3-1 pitch he sent into left field. A 1-2 count has to be more defensive, but there's a huge hole on the right side of the infield. If he can just put a bat on a ball, he could be a little bit late on a fastball and still shoot it out into right field for a base hit.
The 1-2 poked the other way and foul.
Well, that was almost exactly that. A fastball that he was late on and on the hands. but ended up fouling it off.
You would imagine James tries to stay inside this baseball, and as you said, Jack, shoot it in the hole on the right side. First and foremost, though, put the bat on the ball.
Yes.
As he's behind in the count for the first time tonight. Here's the 1-2. That one back up the middle, and diving stop made by Preisner to his feet, and no play. Preisner got a glove on it, but in shallow center field had no options to go with the baseball. Crooks moved to third. James is aboard with his second hit of the night, and the Gatemen now with runners on the corners and one out.
Well, that was a big stop from Preisner because he probably prevented Crooks from scoring on that play. And he might have had to throw to first, but as he jumped to his feet, fell back down to the grass in shallow center field. Still a big-time play from the shortstop, Zach Preisner, forcing the Gatemen to drive this run in. Tying run on third, leading run on first now. Another positive situation for Wareham. See if they can get another run.
This is Kellum Clark, the teammate of Cameron James from Mississippi State, as James takes off for second base. The throw down is high and not in time. The throw beat him, the tag did not, and James moves into scoring position with one out.
Well, James got lucky the first time he stole a base because the tag was popped out of the glove. And that was another time where I feel like he didn't have a very good jump. The throw was decent, but Preisner could not quite put down the tag, and I didn't quite agree with going for a steal in that situation because you get thrown out. All of a sudden there are two outs and a runner on third, but it worked out. Two runners in position for Clark.
It does take the double play out of order, though, which is the advantage to trying to take a bag there, and as James did.
Right, I understood why he did it. It ended up working out, but base runners have been so valuable, and the Gatemen have needed a lot of outs to get those runners in. I just have a hard time sending a runner to second. He gets thrown out. But no complaints when it works.
Corners are in. Middle infielders are back as a hot shot down the first base line just misses the field of play. That was a 2-0 pitch that had a lot of the plate, and Kellum Clark took an aggressive swing, just missed it, and just missed driving in a couple runs for the Gatemen.
That would have been a tough play for Putz as well because that's coming up on him quicker now that he's playing up from first.
It's the disadvantage you have when you play the corners in. They lose some of their range. As an off-speed pitch misses up and away, so now Clark well ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And I don't necessarily think he's going to get a great pitch here, Nick, because first base is open. That puts the double play back in order for Harwich. So could see a take here 3-1 because he might not get that beautiful fastball down the middle that you see sometimes in this count.
We'll wait and see. The 3-1, there's the fastball, and it's ripped into right field, base hit. Crooks is in to score easily. James will pull up at third, and the ball game is tied after an RBI single from Kellum Clark.
Well, Nick, I didn't think he was necessarily going to get the fastball, but he got it, and it was right over the center of the plate, and he did not miss it. Roped it into right field, tie game. Wareham bats now capitalizing on situations in the last 2 innings.
And a here we go Gateman chant erupts from the right side of the field behind the first base dugout. And now a mound meeting. Fergus will be at the plate in a moment. But we wait for the pause in play. When we come back, it'll be 1 out, runners at the corners. And for the time being, the Harwich infield will talk it over. back quicker than we thought. The arm will remain on the mound. Hope you enjoyed whatever you heard for 10 seconds as Cade Fergus stands in. Runners at the corners, 1 out, and the Gatemen, who tied the game a moment ago on a Kellum Clark single, a chance to take the lead. Fergus awaits the first pitch and cuts through a high fastball.
What a guy to have to the plate. A double down the third base line for Fergus his last time up. And a ball put in play on the right side or something lifted to the outfield should put the Gatemen in the lead for the first time tonight, Nick, as that pitch misses inside to make it 1-1 to Fergus.
Fergus 2 for 4 in his last game. That was against Hyannis, the first of the 2-game set on the road. Came into this one 282, the batting average. 1 for 2 tonight. Big kick in the 1-1. Cued foul to the first base dugout.
Fergus put a good swing on that, but maybe the fastball was further outside than I thought.
As I'm starting to realize now also, Cameron James, who stole a base, now stands at third base, and Nick Stewart is not quick to the plate. Even out of the stretch, he is taking a big leg kick, and wouldn't be shocked to see Kellum Clark thinking about it as Cade Fergus cuts through a breaking ball, and that's strike 3.
That's a big strikeout for Stewart. 2 outs with runners on the corners. You can take a big, deep breath. If you're Nick Stewart on the mound, still work to do against Jim Jarvis, who's swinging the bat well. But a big strikeout against Fergus.
2 for 2 with a couple base hits for Jim Jarvis, the second of which was a perfectly placed bunt single. And now he's up with a runner in scoring position, another at first, and 2 outs. Stewart's first pitch is way high and outside. Jarvis 6 hits in his last 7 games, but has not had a multi-hit game since July 11th until tonight. He's got 2 already and looking to add to it here. One and 0 is the count. The pitch fouled toward the backstop.
Fastball was probably 3 or 4 inches off the plate, so Jarvis shot it off the end of the bat to the backstop.
Jarvis can find a way aboard. Even if it doesn't score a run, it would throw it back to the top of the order. Tres Gonzalez waits on deck. A ball and a strike on the lefty out of Alabama. And there's strike 2. Good pitch from Nick Stewart. Grabbed the outside corner. And now Jimmy Two Strikes will go to work with 2 strikes. Believe it or not. 2 outs and runners at the corners.
That's just tough for Jarvis, though, because he doesn't know whether to swing at that or not because the outside of the zone has been inconsistent so far tonight.
Either way, the hitters have to adjust. Now the 1-2. Fouled off to the left and out of play.
Well, time for Jimmy Two Strikes to do what he does best, Nick. Shoot a ball up the middle for a base hit. That's his patented 2-strike swing.
Big hole up the middle. Big gap between the shortstop and the second baseman for Harwich. Clark with a massive lead, and I say that quietly because...
What is he doing?
That is as puzzling of a play as I've seen.
He just stood in the middle of first and second, and him and Nick Stewart had a stare down. I don't know why Stewart didn't throw it over to first because he would have had him by a mile.
That was one of the oddest things I've seen all season. Kellum Clark was...
Don Sneddon was pleading from the dugout for Clark to return to first.
He was 30 feet off the bag. But we return our attention to Jarvis with a 1-2 count and a pitch taken up and away.
What in the world?
And he has a big smile on his face over there at first base.
was like he was on a dare or something. How far off the bag can you go before you go back? And Sneddon was just back, and Clark refused to go until the last second.
He was off the rubber.
Then lazily hopped his way towards first. What a bizarre scenario.
2-2, 2 outs, runners at the corners. And now Jarvis takes ball 3.
I still have no clue why Stewart did not throw over to first.
Maybe he's got John Lester syndrome.
We haven't seen him throw over.
It's true. We haven't seen him go over there yet.
I don't want to be throwing out phobias that he has, though.
For now, the payoff pitch to Jarvis. It's high and outside. That's ball 4. That loads the bases for the Gatemen and, more importantly, brings them to the top of the order. Now we have another mound visit, and now a call to the pen. We'll send it to break and be back after this with the bases loaded for the Gatemen.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stands and at every practice along the way, Founders Sport Group makes authentic, quality apparel accessible at the speed of the sport. Visit foundersport.com today.
Baseball Factory is a company specializing in player development and college placement of high school baseball players. We care about guiding players to a college that is the perfect fit. Give us a call at 877-752-6025 to get started today.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950s-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Baseball Factory's vision is to guide both players and parents through the college recruiting process into professionally trained players in order to find a school that is the right fit, both academically and athletically. Contact us at 877-752-6025.
Matthew Pushard, the right-hander, out of the University of Maine, Orono, takes the mound for the Mariners. And for the Gatemen, the base is loaded. He inherits 3 base runners, 2 outs in the inning, and Tres Gonzalez trying to do damage.
A little surprised they didn't bring out a lefty to go lefty-lefty against Gonzalez. But we haven't seen a lot of Pushard so far this summer. He's only thrown 2/3 of an inning a couple nights ago against Bourne. Didn't give up any runs and a hit.
First pitch to Gonzalez, and that's a ball.
Yes, it was.
No doubt about it. Looked pretty close. He took it for ball 1, and Tress, I just probably says a little thank you after a couple calls haven't gone his way. There's a fastball and a strike.
That one right down the middle. Well, 1-1 to Tress, bases loaded. Not a lot of time to get to know this pitcher. Wait for a fastball if you get on the outer half. If you don't, see if you can draw a walk or force a long at bat.
The 1-1 slider catches the inside part. Quickly 1-2 on Tres Gonzalez.
A deep breath and a shake of the head from Tress.
I bet he's going to be swinging at whatever this pitch is. He has
The
no idea where the strike zone is right now, and he just has to go.
The look on his face says it all.
The 1-2. He checked it up, and he fouled it off. Well, excuse me swing from Tres Gonzalez, who stays alive with 2 strikes.
Can't get 2 in his head here, though. The bases are loaded.
Ask the umpire if that was a strike. I don't know what he expects to hear. I don't know what he wants to hear. Pushard set. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Skied toward the infield. Matt McDermott calling everybody off. He settles in right field and makes the catch. Gatemen get 1. They tie the game. But Pushard escapes without allowing any more. We go to the 7th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus something more.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape
Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local
Gatemen get a run in the 6th and tie the game as we head to the 7th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jack Sadighian, Nick Magas, and a new pitcher on the mound making his debut, Chris Barraza, the right-hander, heading to Arizona this fall.
Well, we haven't had the chance to see him throw yet, but as you said, Jack, transferring to Arizona, pitched this past spring at New Mexico State. 7.25 ERA across 22 1/3 innings pitched. And we'll see him out of the windup for a clean inning here against the 9-hitter Matt McDermott.
His first pitch is lifted foul over the right side. McDermott 0 for 2 with a strikeout. After a rocky first couple innings for Wareham, Harwich got both their runs in the first inning. It's been smooth sailing for the pitching staff. 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball fouled back. And Soderston finishes his day. Went 4 1/3, gave up no runs off of 2 hits, and had 3 strikeouts. Another solid performance for the right-hander from Cal State Northridge.
Second consecutive solid outing for Soderston.
0-2 to McDermott. Fastball just outside.
And for Barraza as well as Soderston and Kirschiper and all these guys that are coming in later in the season that we haven't had a chance to see much yet, we hope that they can be effective down the stretch, and for the couple of those guys continue to be effective after good showings in their first couple outings.
That pitch, a fastball high and outside. Now 2-2 to McDermott.
Because as we said earlier in this game, this is it. What you see is what you get for the roster. Shouldn't be too many moves from here on out, and this will be the team that takes the Gatemen down the stretch for better or for worse.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So Barraza starts his Cape League debut with a strikeout. 1 away, nobody on for Press Kavanaugh. Tie game in the top of the 7th. We're back to the top of the lineup. Kavanaugh 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 4th. He struck out in the 1st and 2nd. And the first pitch to him is a fastball for a strike on the low inside corner. Here's the 0-1, blooped into shallow left field. That gets down. Jarvis has it in shallow left. As Kavanaugh rounds first, he'll return to the first base bag with a 1-out base hit.
Well, sometimes even the analytics can get out-thunked. And that time, with the infield overloaded to the right side, a bloop single drops just steps away from where Jarvis would be playing his position. And most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Tough break for Barraza. 1 out, runner on first in a tie game. First pitch to Levins. Fastball for a strike on the outer half. Levins was hit by a pitch and then walked in the 1st and 2nd. Flew out to left in the 4th to retire the side. A lot of base runners left on from both sides. Harwich has left 6 on. Wareham's left 8 on, including the bases loaded in the last frame. 0-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside. A ball and a strike to Levins. Harwich with the leading run on first. Jumped out to a 2-0 lead to start this game, and Wareham clawing their way back with a run in the 5th and another in the 6th. Barraza working from the belt. The 1-1. Fouled back. That caught the mask of Crooks.
Well, for Barraza, the numbers weren't where he wanted them to be in the spring. But heading to a big-time baseball school next season in Arizona, this is a good chance for him to face some very good competition here in the Cape League and get ready for what next year is going to undoubtedly be like for him.
You will certainly see a jump in the competition level. Not to take anything away from the Mountain West. It's a good baseball conference.
Good baseball conference and a tough conference to pitch in. A lot of those schools playing in elevation, and when the baseball travels like it does, you see a lot of inflated ERAs coming out of that conference.
A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Levins. Throw over to first to check on Kavanaugh. The 4 straight All-Stars to start this order for Harwich have come as advertised tonight. They've reached base now 7 times. Another throw to first. That's 7 times, Nick, in 13 plate appearances. And so will we finally get the 1-2 pitch? Here it is. Lifted to left field. Diodati backpedaling, twisting, turning, now makes the catch. Kavanaugh has to retreat to first, now 2 away.
Well, that's what sometimes happens with those tailing line drives. Diodati took a drop step over his left shoulder, and with it tailing toward the line, as it always does on a hard hit ball to the outfield, had to flip the other way and luckily able to stay with it, track it down, and get the out.
2 outs and a runner on first for the power hitter Brock Wilkin. Out of Wake Forest. Righty-righty matchup here. Barraza staring him down, now wants to talk to Crooks on the mound, mix up with the signs.
And you don't want any confusion and definitely a consistent plan of action with a hitter like Wilkin at the plate. For him, a huge season at Wake Forest. A .279 hitter, 17 home runs, broke the freshman record. And for him, the accolades kept pouring in as the season went on. Collegiate Baseball Freshman All-American, 2021 ACC All-Freshman Team, and third-team All-ACC as well.
And that's translated to this summer as well. Top 5 or 10 in most hitting categories on the Cape. Barraza ready. Crooks back behind the plate. First pitch to Wilkin is a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. Wilkin walked his first 2 times up and then grounded out in the 5th.
And if that's not any indication, Gatemen don't want to throw to him, and I don't blame them.
The 1-0. Fastball low and inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes to Wilkin. Ahead in the count once again. A tie game in the top of the 7th. 2 outs. The leading run, for Harwich on first. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a fastball.
Well, the plate discipline has been there all night for Wilkin, but when you're a hitter who isn't getting pitches to hit, a lot of times you can get a little bit overzealous as the night wears on. Frustrated that they haven't been pitching to him and probably wants just a chance to swing the bat here.
Throw over to first.
Not to mention, Barraza's making him wait a long time between pitches, making all these Mariner hitters wait.
As a pitcher, you control the pace of the game. Two balls and a strike. Barraza from the belt, the pitch, a fastball high to make it 3-1.
The pitcher controls the pace, as you said, and even still, you don't see enough pitchers use that to their advantage. Not just mixing up the looks to base runners, mixing up their timing, but they always say hitting's about timing and pitching's about interrupting that timing.
And one of the best we've seen this summer with that was Sammy Natera. As the 3-1 is taken for a strike at the knees. Wilkin tossed his bat to the dugout, thinking that was easily ball 4.
And I don't necessarily blame him because whether that pitch was a strike or not, the call came in extremely late. So his only other option is to stand in the box and just wait, but that's never a good look as a hitter. So at some point you need to take your base, and that's what Wilkin tried to do.
Okay. Full count.
Pitch had the whole plate. Couldn't tell if it was low from here, but Wilkin obviously thought it was.
He's got low knees, though. Payoff. Driven hard to left field. That gets down. Kavanaugh heading to third. He's there safely. Wilkin to second. Throw, tag, and he's safe. A close play at second, but now runners on second and third with 2 away. And Carter Putz heading to the plate. Brock Wilkin, his 9th double of the season. That now leads the league. And he took his anger out at that strike 2 call on a line drive to left field. Big moment in a tie game. George Carlejo knows it, and the pitching coach for the Gatemen heading to the mound.
Well, can't help but notice that some tough luck has certainly played a factor in this inning. Barraza on for his first inning of work, got the first strikeout, and then a weak pop fly to what would normally be the shortstop position off the bat of Kavanaugh. Jarvis playing the pull side as they have on Kavanaugh all evening, all the way to the second base side of the bag. There was nobody even in the vicinity for Wareham to try and make that play, and what was a weak base hit with 1 out has really compiled into a bit of trouble here for Barraza now, with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs in the inning.
Gatemen just tied the game in the last frame, and now in the top of the 7th, the Mariners have 2 in scoring position. Their cleanup man, Carter Putz, heading to the plate. Putz 1 for 3 with a base hit in the first. And in Chris Barraza's debut, a high-pressure situation in the 7th. Gatemen jockeying in the standings, currently tied with Katuitt at 22 points, 2 points ahead of Falmouth. Of course, tied with Katuitt for second. First pitch to Putz, a fastball upstairs for ball 1. And Katuitt and Wareham 9.5 games back from first place Bourne, so essentially Bourne, outside of a monumental collapse, has the first spot in the West, and the second spot up for grabs. Gatemen need as many wins or ties as they can get over these last 12 games.
Well, I can assure you, Jack, we don't need any more ties.
The 1-0 to Putz, a strike at the knees.
The Gatemen already with 4 this season, and more than enough of them have come in heartbreaking fashion.
And one of those was against Harwich. An error that allowed the tying run to score in the 9th. The 1-1. Fastball outside. Putz, 2 balls and a strike.
Playing for Notre Dame, second team All-ACC this year after hitting .305, 6 home runs, 45 RBI. The stat line for him this year.
Had a good postseason. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. 2-1. Pull the fastball outside. 3 balls and a strike. Putz was really good in the regional and super regional. That success carried over to the summer. Got named an All-Star, one of Harwich's 9, tied with Bourne for the most All-Stars in the league. And they're in their own race, just a game behind Brewster in the East. 3-1 pitch. Slider missed upstairs. Walk. Bases loaded. And Josh Hood heading to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Hood is 1 for 3. A base hit in the first and 2 flyouts to center.
Hood transferring from Penn to NC State. That's where he'll play next season. Unanimous Ivy League Rookie of the Year back in 2019. First team All-Ivy that year as well. Now making the switch to the ACC.
First pitch to him. That gets past Crooks. Run scores. Harwich leads 3-2. A rare mistake from Jimmy Crooks, and Harwich leads once again in the 7th.
Well, that is just a straight-up passed ball if I've ever seen one. Pitch that was not even that far off the plate. Pitch that Crooks was probably thinking about trying to steal for a strike. It ended up going to the backstop and gives Harwich the lead once again.
A tough break Now runners on second and third, 2 away. Hood with a 1-0 count. And the 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed.
And we should say that, to our knowledge, this is the first time that Jimmy Crooks has ever caught Peraza. It's been something we've pointed out in a number of times this season, but as new pitchers continue to come in to ball games and come onto this team, have to remember that for these catchers, it's the first time they've worked with them as well.
The 1-1, chop to the left side. Jarvis has it, throw to first. Picked nicely by Morales for the third out. Harwich gets a run on a passed ball and 2 hits, but leave 2 stranded. They're back in front by 1. We stretch in the 7th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to coordinating and delivering the highest quality healthcare services which enhance the health of all Cape Cod residents and visitors. You can expect this level of patient-centered care throughout our entire healthcare system.
Imagine waking up to a seaside breeze, a fishing fleet leaving for work, and a crimson sun rising over seals relaxing on the sandbars. This is the experience of Chatham Bars Inn, Cape Cod's premier resort and spa. To learn more about Cape Cod's finest luxury hotel, resort, and spa, visit chathambarsin.com.
Cape Cod Healthcare offers a comprehensive array of medical services delivered by top-notch teams of healthcare providers. Their physicians provide the best evidence-based and proven medicine at their state-of-the-art facilities. If you need them, they'll be there.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the Cape Cod Baseball League and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only...
Everybody stretched. And we're ready to go for the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Harwich lead. Jack Sadighian, Nick Magas. Special birthday video for Sherry Gay. Mid-7th. Happy birthday to her. She's a pivotal member of the Gatemen organization. As Tommy Troy takes a strike. Troy, Diodati, and Morales, the 2-3-4 hitters coming up for Wareham. And the 0-1 pitch. Line foul over the right side.
You mentioned Sherry Gay plays such a huge role in this Gatemen organization, and really it's just a handful of individuals who really put in a ton of time and a ton of work every year to put out what you see on the field.
That pitch chopped to the left side, high hop for Preisner. He delivers a strike to first for the first out.
But yeah, for the Gatemen, just hats off to everybody who's done so much work with this organization to be able to put together a season, especially in a year like this where up until March, I think just about everybody was uncertain about whether or not we would play. And it took even more effort than it normally does from all of these people, from housing to feeding the team to the GM to the president, just scheduling, everything that went into making a season like this happen. And while it was a fire drill as it was going down, it turned into the season that we'd all hoped for and the season that we've all expected.
Diodati swung at the first pitch and missed. Now the second pitch to him, a fastball low. So now a ball and a strike to Diodati. 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. It's 3-2 Harwich in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out and nobody on. That pitch foul tipped into the mitt of Levens. A ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 fouled out of Levin's glove. Matthew Pushard on the mound. He got the last out in the 6th. Gatemen tied the game, had the bases loaded. But Pushard forced Gonzalez into a pop out into shallow right. Levens shook out his hand, now ready to play. The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball outside. 2-2 to Diodati. Right back in the box, waiting for the pitch. Here it is. Foul back. Another close game for Wareham, Nick.
Should we bring out that statistic you love to talk about?
The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Diodati head down. He jogs down the first base line as it was dropped by Levens. But Levens just quickly tags him out for the second out. 1-run Harwich lead, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody on for Yohandy Morales.
So we're just going to ignore that statistic?
Here it is. Gatemen are 0-4 in games decided by 1 run as the first pitch to Morales misses for ball 1. You wanted it.
I did.
I didn't say it.
I'm hoping we change that tonight. That's all.
1-0. Fastball for a strike at the knees. Morales 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 4th. Was left stranded on second. 1-1. Breaking ball outside. 2-1 to Morales. And that pitch chopped right at the Harwich dugout. Now 2-2. Gatemen have left 8 runners on. 2-2. A breaking ball outside. Full count. Talk about quick pitching.
And Pushard hasn't thrown Morales a strike yet in this at-bat.
Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. A 1-2-3 inning for Pushard. Harwich up 1 through 7.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Get your glow on at Compassionate Med Spa. They're compassionate about getting your perfect skin. Come get your glow on. Call 774-678-7319. Mention this ad and get 25% off at Hydra Facial.
The Mezzaluna Restaurant is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serving some of Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Harwich clings to a 1-run lead through 7th, and Chris Barraza will toe the rubber once again after giving up a run in his first Cape League inning. But not a badly pitched inning, Nick. Ran into a little bit of bad luck.
Yes, he did. It was a base hit. A weak base hit to the left side where nobody was home to make what would have been an easy catch. That started everything off. And then ultimately, while they did put some good offense together later in that inning, it was a passed ball that scored the run. I believe that should go down as unearned for Barraza.
Right now in the official scorebook as an earned run.
First pitch to Dylan Phillips is cut on and missed. Just read what I see. 0-1 to Phillips. Hammered to right field. Gonzalez back at the wall, leaning against the wall, and that ball is gone. Dylan Phillips goes yard and gets his first Cape League home run. A solo shot to right to give Harwich a 2-run lead.
Well, you said it was his first, but it was only a matter of time. 16 of them this year at Kansas State. That was second in the Big 12. And a moonshot that just got up and kept traveling on a still cool evening. Gonzalez was back, ran out of room, and it cleared the fence by plenty.
First pitch to Jordan Beck is a strike. Beck 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. A big home run, though, for Harwich. They're up by 2 with nobody out in the 8th. 0-1 pitch. Fastball for a strike on the outer half. Oh-2, roped into center field. That gets down. Fergus chasing it down, got past his glove. Beck heading for third, and the throw to the bag is off the line. A solo home run followed by a triple from Jordan Beck.
Well, that was just a shot off the bat of Jordan Beck. He has plenty of power of his own. 13 regular season home runs this year at Tennessee. That time just a laser to center field. Cade Fergus, who is shaded over toward the right center gap, trying to track it down in dead center field, couldn't get there in time, and it scoots all the way to the warning track to give 3 bases to Jordan Beck. Still nobody out here in the top of the 8th.
And that'll chase Barraza out of the game. Runner on third, nobody out, 4-2 Harwich. In the 8th, we step aside on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at www.curry.edu.
What's up, Gatemen fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gatemen.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gatemen gear today.
And ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866-ASK-MARY or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedoms. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus...
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily.
(4-2) Harwich, runner on third, and nobody out in the top of the eighth. Pitching change. Rob Hughes, the right-hander out of Clemson, on the mound.
Well, thankfully, he's from Clemson. The fourth guy we've seen for pitch for the Gatemen out of Clemson this year. We've had good luck with them so far. 17 appearances this year, 16 of them out of the bullpen, with a 4.24 ERA across 23 and a third. Some good work in the ACC for Rob Hughes.
He'll start off against Zach Preisner. His first pitch is upstairs for ball one. Transferred to Clemson after Furman discontinued their baseball program following the 2020 season. Infield playing all the way up for Preisner. He's 1 for 3 with a base hit. The 1-0, a fastball pumped in to the middle of the zone for a strike.
Hughes inherits a runner at third.
Yeah, Barraza went 1+. 2 runs off of 4 hits and a walk. He did strike out a batter. 1-1, grounded foul.
And Rob lost his lid.
Oh, no.
He got it back. He's all right. The fourth Clemson pitcher we've seen pitch for the Gatemen this year. It was Clayton, then Gilbert, then Anglin just a few days ago for the first time at Chatham. And now Hughes.
And if he could strike out these next 3 batters, that would be great.
Let's get one. Let's get one first.
1-2, fastball up and out of the zone. 2-2.
What we do need is some life injected into that Gateman dugout, who have seemingly had all of it taken out of them. And after a big home run from Dylan Phillips and then the triple that followed it up, in need of a spark of energy here. A strikeout would be nice, or maybe a play at the plate with the infield in.
That is possible. 2-2. Fastball up and out of the zone again. Full count. He does have the 8-9 hitters before returning to the top of the order. That's done a lot of damage tonight. Payoff pitch. Swung on and driven into left field for a base hit. Beck scores easily, and Preisner's 6th RBI of the season makes it 5-2 Harwich in the 8th.
Well, it wasn't particularly well hit. And a fairly well-executed pitch from Rob Hughes just off the end of the bat, lofts it over the infield, and with the infield playing in, never a chance for anybody to make that catch. Would have been a tough play for Jarvis either way, trying to range over from shortstop. And it drives in the 5th run of the ball game for the Mariners.
So far this inning, a home run, a triple, and a base hit. 2 runs have come across. 5-2 Mariners in the 8th. Still nobody out. Throw over to first. Checks on Preisner. Matt McDermott, the second baseman at the plate, heading to Coastal Carolina in the fall. 4-year starter at William & Mary. First pitch to McDermott is high and inside for ball 1. McDermott was a second team all CAA player this year, and the CAA Defensive Player of the Year. That's the Colonial Athletic Association. One 1-0 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. He had a career year this year. Led his team in home runs with 6 and doubles with 15. Also slugging percentage, slugged .494.
Heading off to a big-time baseball program of his own next year.
That pitch fouled back. Now 1-2 to McDermott.
McDermott, as of tonight, playing in just his 3rd game. 1 for 10 on the Cape League season. 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of strikeouts to his name. But in the best offensive inning that anybody has had so far, he tries to add to the damage that has already been done. Nobody out, runner at first.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hughes records a strikeout. Now 1 away in the 8th. Runner on first. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Press Kavanaugh. Harwich with 2 runs already in this inning. 3 runs in the last 2 frames in a 5-2 lead.
The Gatemen sticking to their guns. They return to the shift. And now they send Jarvis back over to the left side of the infield at the shortstop position.
He's still pretty far over.
He is, but after Kavanaugh hit that little looping single and beat the shift his last time up, the Gatemen not as aggressive with it this time around.
First pitch to Kavanaugh, lifted to left field. That's shallow. Diodati coming up, makes the catch. 2 away. Preisner on first. And Tatum Levins, the catcher, heading to the plate. Righty-lefty matchup. Levins 0 for 2, has reached twice after being hit and walking. (5-2) Harwich. Pitch, throw down to second, tag out. How about that?
What else is new?
Preisner heading for second. He's caught stealing by Jimmy Crooks to retire the side. Harwich gets 2 off of a home run, a triple, and a base hit. 3-run Mariner lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
Cape Cod Healthcare is committed to providing tools and resources for your sustained well-being. We recognize the vital role of preventative medicine in your health journey and want to help you not only get well, but stay well.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all of your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
We head to the bottom of the 8th, 5-2 Harwich after they get 2 in the top of the inning. Crooks, James, and Clark, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, due up against Matthew Pushard. You got some scores from around the league, Nick? You're staring at them on the computer.
Well, I didn't know when you wanted me to go. Katuitt leads Hyannis. That's expected, but not ideal. They're up 6-1. Actually, they won. Excuse me. That went final a few minutes ago.
First pitch to Crooks, fouled back, and by a few minutes ago.
What's that? I don't even know how to. Hand me the scoreboard.
By a few minutes ago would be 2 hours ago that score went final.
After 6 innings, I guess. So Katuitt wins. They're the one team ahead of the Gatemen in the standings right now.
Grounder right side, throw over to first for the first out. So one away, nobody on. Cameron James heading to the plate. 5-2 Harwich. So, Nick, if it's blue on the screen,
if you
it's
can't
final.
tell, Jack is the one who always reads the scores from around the league.
If it's yellow, the game is still going.
All right,
it says
fine.
what inning it's
Katuitt
in.
won. Expected once again, but not ideal. As they're a couple games ahead of the Gatemen. And then Falmouth also beat YD today 2-0. So the race for second in the West stays heated right now. Bourne, the other team that matters for the Gatemen, they're in a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 7th with Orleans. So what with the standings shaking around and the way they're determining who makes the playoffs getting messed up a little bit, as we talked about before the game. If you stick with us after the game, we'll recap that one more time, and we can It's not that funny, Jack. You want me to just call this game? Cameron James hit one foul. It's now 1-2.
I'm just still hung up on the just went final and tried to save yourself. 1-2 pitch. Ground up the middle.
All right. Throw to first was in time. It's a 6-3 put out. And that gets out number 2 in the inning. Kellum Clark now coming to the plate for the Gatemen. 1 for 3 with a base hit.
All right, I'm back.
Thank you.
2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to Clark. He checks up and takes low for ball 1. 5-2 Harwich. In the bottom of the 8th, Mariners have come on strong the last couple innings. That pitch skied up into the infield grass. A bunch of Mariners converging. Who wants it? It's the second baseman, McDermott, to retire the 8th. 5-2 Harwich. We head to the 9th on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
South Coast Health Operators of Charlton Memorial, St. Luke's, and Toby Hospitals delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as Southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Healthcare, plus something more.
Badger Sport is a leading provider of superior quality team uniforms and performance athletic wear, including performance t-shirts, fleeces, shorts, and pants. From the fields to the stadium.
Here we are for the 9th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jack is composed and ready to go after my fiasco reading the scores from around the league.
It really wasn't that bad. I was being dramatic. I just thought it was funny that the game had went final 2 hours ago, and you tried to save yourself.
You said that. I misread the blue bar at the top. So Katuitt did beat Hyannis, as that one's chopped foul off the bat of Tatum Levens. Rob Hughes back on the mound for the Gatemen. who are trying to claw their way back into this one. The job first is to hold them here.
Well, I think that just compiled because I was laughing, and I think you just laughed because I was laughing,
Yeah,
which
of
made
course.
me keep laughing.
Of course. That's the way it happens. As that one's right back up the middle, and Hughes has to dive out of the way as it shoots into center field for a base hit. Levin's aboard for the third time tonight, but his first hit. Nobody out, and Brock Wilkin coming to the dish. I've never seen that from you. You're always pretty serious on air.
That's the hardest I've laughed this summer.
Is that a good thing?
What?
I feel like, I don't know.
Say I'm not laughing enough?
I mean, yeah, you are. You do.
Careful
Well, I've always
what-
heard.
careful
I've
what
always,
you say
I've
here.
always heard what you laugh about. What you laugh about on a broadcast is the stuff you're going to remember most. And
words of wisdom from an unknown source.
Yeah, that's advice we got earlier in the summer. We've been told laugh on the broadcast because those are the moments that count and those are the moments that you show you're having fun. So with a 5-2 deficit, gotta take some things lightly. Is that one taken low from Brock Wilkin? 1-0 count. Runner at first base is Levins, who singled a moment ago. Infield playing straight away for the most part. Troy a little bit up the middle at second base as that one drops in for a strike.
Well, Hughes' job. Keep it at 3 runs. And hope the Bats can put some magic up in the 9th. Gatemen scored 2 runs in the 9th a couple nights ago against Hyannis before the Harbor Hawks walked off.
1-1 to Wilkins. Slapped down the first baseline and foul. Out of the reach of Morales. He gives it a point. The umpire agrees, and that's strike 2. That Hyannis game was an adventure. Gatemen led for most of the game, gave it up in the bottom of the 8th, went down 4-2, and then came back with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, nobody aboard, scored 2 runs to tie it before the Harbor Hawks loaded the bases at the end of that game, ultimately scored a run on a ball put in play toward Jack Brannigan as the 1-2 to Wilkin misses low and away.
That was just one example of quite a few heartbreakers that Wareham's had this summer. Some points certainly left on the table for the Gatemen. Hopefully it doesn't haunt them over these last 12 games. They are right there for second in the West, Nick, tied with Cotuit for second, 9.5 games back from first place Bourne, in a game ahead of Falmouth. Of course, Cotuit and Falmouth winning tonight. So if the Gatemen do fall tonight, they'll be back down to 4th, but still right in that race for second place.
Off the hands and foul. Hughes needs to get a smaller hat. It's his first game, first time on the mound for the Gatemen. He's lost his hat a couple times now. Two and 2 is the count on the 3-hitter Brock Wilkin. 1 for 2 tonight, couple of walks and a double. Runner at first base with nobody out. The pitch called strike 3. Breaking ball grabbed to the outside corner, and down goes a dangerous hitter in Brock Wilkin.
Brock Wilkin is a tough guy to strike out, Nick. And that was a big first out in the 9th.
So here's Cutter Putz. Throw goes to first base. Levins is back. Putz 1 for 3 with a walk. RBI single in the first inning. Came into this one hitting .275. Tommy Troy playing closer to the middle of the field than straight away second base as a breaking ball misses out.
Levins from LaSalle, second team All-Atlantic 10 player this season. .315 hitter with 7 home runs and 50 RBIs. A massive year. Top 10 in his conference in RBIs and doubles. He had 14 doubles.
Fastball high. Count goes to 2-0. Hughes retrieves the cap once again.
And Levens.
Putz waits for the 2-0. Swing and a miss. It was foul tipped. And Crooks got a glove on it. So the count goes to 2-1.
I was going to say Levens hit over 300 all 3 of his seasons at LaSalle. And had another good night tonight. Reached 3 out of his 5 times to the plate. He's a chance for Harwich to get some insurance on first.
Another pitch cut through. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Carter Putz. Putz second team All ACC in 2021. He was a top 50 draft prospect in the ACC this year. Now he waits for a 2-2 pitch from Hughes. Cut on and missed, strike 3.
Well, like clockwork, Nick, Hughes lost the hat, but recorded another strikeout. A big-time fastball, cut on and missed. Now 1 out away from keeping it at a 3-run game for the Gatemen.
And Jim Jarvis was holding up his hat, and now Yohandy Morales is doing the same at first, just trying to get Hughes to trade with one of them. And he won't do it. He likes it, got the strikeout, and now goes to work with 2 outs. And now he retrieves the cap from the dirt once again. Somebody needs to do something about this. So it can't be comfortable. It can't be effective.
People are trying to do something. Hughes is in the zone.
Feeling good after 2 straight strikeouts. And once again, 2-0 though on the batter. Chuckles are coming down from the press box here at Spillane Field. Down the row, our PA announcer, our writer, our scoreboard operator, the official scorer, everybody's getting a kick out of Rod Hughes.
What if he just left the hat on the mound?
He doesn't seem to want to throw a pitch without it on. The 2-0 driven in the air to center field. Cade Fergus drifting back toward the right center gap. He settles underneath it and makes the grab for out number 3. Runner stranded at first as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Gatemen to get 3 or more on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
Wherever you call home, from Boston to the South Shore to the South Coast to the Cape and Islands, Rogers Gray has you covered for all of your coastal homeowners insurance needs. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
That double play is brought to you by TM Ryder Insurance Agency. Package your home and auto insurance for the perfect double play.
Gatemen, half of the 9th inning. They come to the plate one more time, down 5-2. No extra innings played here at Spillane Field or anywhere in the CCBL for that matter. So Cade Fergus, Jim Jarvis, then the top of the order will be the last chance. Gatemen need 3 to tie, 4 to win. That would be ideal, but it's a big ask here. As Matthew Pushert on the mound once again.
Well, productive hitters coming up. It's the 8-9-1 hitters coming up, but they've been some of the best tonight. Between Fergus, Jarvis, and Gonzalez, 4 hits, 2 of those doubles, and a walk.
Never say never.
The Gatemen certainly don't. I mean, they've had a lot of heartbreakers so far this season, Nick, but they've battled in every single game.
They did it in their most recent one against Hyannis. They've done it, as you said, in every game this season. Never going down easy. As the first pitch to Fergus misses up and away, and right as I try and get that out of my mouth, Matthew Pushard coming with another pitch already. It's now 2-0 on the 8-hitter Cade Fergus. 1 for 3 with a couple strikeouts and a double as the slider misses low and away. And a good start for Wareham. 3-0 on the leadoff man in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, the key to comebacks, Nick, get that leadoff runner on. It's huge. The Gatemen ignored that last time and recorded 2 outs before putting 2 runs on the board. So that's not always the case, but it's important.
Pushard comes quickly and gets a fastball over the outside part.
Well, that was a take sign all the way from Fergus. Now 3-1. Be interested to see what he does.
Quick windup and the pitch, and that's ball 4. Cade Fergus aboard to lead it off.
Well, I always say, Nick, the most you can ask for when you're down big from a team is get that tying run to the plate and see what can happen. The Gatemen are 1 base runner away from getting that tying run up. They've got Jarvis at the plate, who's reached all 3 times as the 9-hitter. I love him in the 9 spot, Nick.
He has the ability to flip the order, him and Fergus. When you can get these 2 guys on and then send it back to Tres Gonzalez, that's a good combination. Tres Gonzalez and then, of course, the hitters that follow in Tommy Troy and Diodati. It's a good spot for both Fergus and Jarvis. As Jarvis took strike 1 on a breaking ball. That one's ripped to right field and down for a base hit. Fergus around second. He'll take third easily. And now runners at the corners for the Gatemen and the tying run coming to the plate.
Jarvis had almost an exact replica of his base hit in the 3rd inning. Just a laser right above leaping Carter Putz at first base. And it gets down in right field for a base hit. Huge hit from Jarvis. We're back to the top of the order. And as you said, Nick, tying run at the plate. Here we go again for the Gatemen. Never say die attitude.
Jarvis 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a walk. That will likely be where his night ends as he's on the base paths now. And Tres Gonzalez, the leadoff man, takes a slider low and inside for ball 1.
And some movement as guys gingerly start to work their way to the hill in the bullpen for Harwich and left.
The 1-0 slapped down the left field line, well out of play. Tres Gonzalez 1 for 4 tonight with a double. Has Fergus 90 feet away, Jarvis at first. And nobody out for the Gatemen, who trail by 3. Bottom of the 9th inning here at Spillane.
And Pushard in 2 1/3 had yet to give up a walk or a hit before this inning.
Pushard comes with the pitch, and Gonzalez swung through it after calls from all over the field were asking him to step off. Jarvis got a big lead. Just testing Pushard, and he keeps his focus, delivers a good competitive breaking ball to Gonzalez and gets ahead of him 1-2.
When I grimaced for a second because if he had a pickoff move to first on that, Jarvis was dead in the water.
The 1-2 fouled off.
Gonzalez doing a good job staying alive. That pitch was in on the hands. And Gonzalez's goal here needs to just be to put a ball in play.
Double play depth for the infield. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 back foot sliders from Matthew Pushard put Gonzalez down on strikes. And a big hit to the rally that is stirring for the Gatemen.
Well, if anyone's due, Nick, it is Tommy Troy. 0 for 4 tonight, does have an RBI, but came into this game with arguably the hottest bat in the lineup.
The only guy for the Gatemen hitting over 300 as we entered this one. He has runners at the corners, 1 out, and fouls off the first pitch he sees back into the parking lot. Gatemen showing fight once again. They've brought the tying run to the plate for 2 consecutive batters now. As Tommy Troy checks it up, takes a ball. A ball and a strike now on number 4. Second baseman out of Stanford. 0 for 4 tonight, does have an RBI to his name. Pushard insists on working quickly. Comes again with the 1-1. That's a strike on the outside corner.
Good pitch. Troy couldn't swing at it, but it was perfectly placed on the low outside corner.
Tommy Troy now in a hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pushard checks the runner, now comes to the plate. That's a strike 3. Good sweeping breaking ball, and for the second consecutive batter, that pitch puts him down on strikes. So here's the last hope for the Gatemen. Owen Diodati. Struggled tonight, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. But he has the power, if anybody does, in this lineup to tie this game with 1 swing. Pushard needs to be careful. Righty-lefty matchup as a fastball misses upstairs. That's a big first pitch miss to Diodati, who loves to jump on fastballs when he's ahead in the count. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt, skips away from Levens. Jarvis will take second, but for the time being, that is inconsequential. Owen Diodati, the big swinger out of Alabama. In the left-hand batter's box. Stares at the righty Pushard. Comes set. The pitch from the stretch. Fastball swung on and missed.
That was the one, Nick.
Not necessarily the pitch Diodati wanted, but the count he wanted it in. And Pushard with a well-executed fastball on the outer third. Got it by Diodati. We try it again, 2-1. That one fouled off. Try it again with the back foot breaking ball. And the Mariners are 1 strike away from escaping this one. Two and 2 is the count. 2 outs, runners at second and third. 5-2 game in favor of Harwich. Owen Diodati at the plate, waits for the pitch. And he calls time. Only fitting, Jack.
He's the master of calling time. Loves to do it. See if he can throw off Pushard here. If anyone could tie the game with 1 swing for Wareham, it's Diodati.
Pushard set. The 2-2. Fouled off. Looked like it got Diodati in the foot. He comes up a bit gingerly, but stays in the box, trying to battle the Gatemen back into this one. 5-2 is the score. Harwich in town has led for most of this game. They gave it up, then got it right back. Now Diodati with a 2-2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss. The leadoff 2 men reach base, and then 3 straight strikeouts, all with the slider from Matthew Pushard, and he battles back and gives the Mariners the win. 5-2 is the final. Thank you for joining us on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We'll be back with the post-game show from Spillane Field.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the Wareham Gatemen, the 9 other teams, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2021 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize
the Yawkey Foundation, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod,
Badger Sport, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cent Savings Bank, Milton Cat, Mosquito Marys,
Fairway Financial, Ocean Spray, Seaside Le Mans, Rogers Gray, Franklin Sports,
Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce,
Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Highness Area Chamber of Commerce,
HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Quest Diagnostics, Cape Space. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
The Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask for your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or any other intimidating actions will not be tolerated. Thank you. We ask parents to keep their children off the roofs of the dugouts, away from the batting cages, and out of the bullpen areas. Please throw rubbish into the barrels and recycle the aluminum cans in special bins located around the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, state law prohibits the use of any tobacco product on school property. Thanks for keeping us in compliance.
Cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Spillane Field for personal photos, but cannot be used to reproduce the game, players, or on-field events without the express written permission of the Wareham Gatemen. Use of camera or video equipment must not interfere with other fans' enjoyment of the game.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new...
Another well-fought ball game here from Spillane Field. Nick Magas alongside Jack Sadighian for the last time here this evening on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Thank you for joining us, everybody. 5-2 your final. Harwich came in and beat Wareham, and in a well-fought battle, the Gatemen didn't go away. Threatened in the 9th, but ultimately just free bases and some good bats from Harwich were what did them in. They lost it 5-2, and when they tried to put together a little bit of rally toward the end of the game, just fizzled after 3 straight strikeouts, and some credit to Matthew Pushard for getting that done for Harwich.
Yeah, it was just a tough game for Wareham, kind of something we've seen all year. Only 2 runs off of 10 hits. They leave 10 runners on base. It hasn't been a problem getting guys on base. It's been bringing those runners in. And Wareham, when they finally clawed their way back to a 2-2 tie, Harwich came back and snatched the lead out from under the Gatemen, stealing all the momentum over the last 3 innings en route to another win.
The insurance runs killed the Gatemen as well. They were just down 3-2 in the 7th, but then Dylan Phillips came up with a big home run. They scored another run in that inning, and when it's 5-2 that late in the game and the bats have been not quiet but as inefficient as they have been, it feels like a mountain you have to climb.
Well, and credit to Wareham. They always battle late in games, and they got the tying run to the plate. Fergus walked. Then Jarvis, a base hit to right field, put runners on the corners. Eventually it was 2 runners in scoring position, but 3 straight strikeouts. Not losing his cool on the mound was Matthew Pushard. A good performance from him and the Harwich pitching staff, holding things together with runners on base, getting a lot of big strikeouts in big moments.
There were some positives for the Gatemen, especially on the offensive side. As you mentioned, 10 hits, 3 of them belonged to Jim Jarvis. He was 3 for 3 with a walk, and then a handful of other guys up and down the lineup. Who did you like the most tonight, Jack?
Well, Jarvis has shined in the 9 spot. He had 3 hits tonight, like you mentioned, all base hits. Cade Fergus was another guy who did pretty well. He had a double, scored a run, also drew a walk in the 9th. Tres Gonzalez with his leadoff double. Cameron James had a 2-hit night after he came in with only 1 hit on the Cape League season. So a number of good performances, and the hits were not hard to find. It was just the runs that were for Wareham a tough loss and a hit in the standings in the West, but still right in that race, 11 games to go.
And we promise we're not crazy. We come back and we talk about this on the post-game show seemingly every game. The hits are there, the runs are not, and it is the story after every game. I mean, there's not much of other way to put it. They put a lot of runners on base. They have so many opportunities, and it feels like time and time again they go to waste. On the defensive side for the Gatemen, the pitching was especially good for most of the game. Noble had some trouble, but battled through as much of the ball game as he could. And then Blake Soderston came on in relief and was very impressive.
Yeah, Noble struggled in the first, gave up those 2 runs. He was able to get 5 outs, though. Then Blake Soderston came in with another good outing. I got to look at my sheet to see how far. I went 4 1/3, only gave up 2 hits, no runs. His stuff was working. Fastball slider combination was good. And Rob Hughes, who made his debut from Clemson, did a good job. Chris Barraza a little banged up in between those 2 guys, but just his first appearance on the Cape League as well.
But for the most part, the stuff from all 3 of those latter guys looked really, really good, and those are guys that are going to need to contribute down the stretch. For now, we'll take a look at the standings before we send it away. Wareham falls to 9-14-4. They came into this game 3rd in the West. They fall to 4th after both Falmouth and Cotuit won tonight. Harwich, on the other side, improves to 14-8-4. That's their 2nd consecutive win for the Gatemen, 2 consecutive losses now. And we'll look at the standings. As we talked about before the game, this format's getting changed up a little bit. We were originally doing total points, 2 for a win, 1 for a tie. And once they realized that with no makeup games, teams were going to be playing all sorts of different numbers of games across the course of the season, they tried to standardize it. So points per game is now the formula, the number of points divided by the number of games played, which puts Bourne well in the lead. They're far and away, running away with the division. And then Cotuit, Wareham, and Falmouth continue to bunch up, battling for that 2 spot. For Cotuit tonight, they won. They moved to .92 points per game. I guess that's how we're going to read it. Falmouth takes the lead ahead of Wareham, .88 points per game for them, and then Wareham .81 points per game. So
now, and for those of you that don't want to do all the calculations and find out points per game, still look at the total points. That's a pretty good general way to figure out where people are, because Cotuit 2 points ahead of Wareham in 2nd, and they also have, true 2nd place in the West as well. And Wareham and Falmouth now tied at 22 points. Falmouth has a slight edge because of the way the points per game work. They've played 2 games less than Wareham, but you can still look at those overall points. It'll give you a general idea, and then as the season gets down the stretch in the last week, we'll keep you up to date every day with where these points per game stand before and after the game.
Yes, for now, until they get a points per game column in the standings, somehow this is going to be done probably by an Excel sheet or by hand after every game I don't know, we don't want to be tech savvy enough to do that, but for now we'll do our best to keep you posted. It won't be easy to keep up with, but that's the way they're going to do it. If you're surprised at the end of the season, we apologize, but that's the way the standings are going to work. Gatemen, once again, fall to 9-14-4. It was a tough one tonight. 5-2 was your final from Spillane Field. For Nick Magas and Jack Sadighian, thank you for joining us, everybody, and have a good night.